Hey everybody, welcome to TPIM Live. I am going to play the following presentation as a courtesy, all right, to those who want to know more about the big head scientists. They do have a YouTube channel. I suggest you check it out. But that being said, let's start the damn show. I'm going to do it.
But not because of my size. Mr. Big, Mr. Big, they call him Mr. Big, Mr. Big, Mr. Big. But not because of my size. Mr. Big, Mr. Big, they call him Mr. Big, Mr. Big, Mr. Big. But not because of my size. Mr. Big, Mr. Big, they call him Mr. Big, Mr. Big, Mr. Big. But not because of my
Thousands of years ago, on this planet we call Earth, our planet was visited by various groups of extraterrestrial humanoid beings. These extraterrestrial humanoid beings had to leave their planet and seek refuge here on Earth because their home planet had been destroyed by evil. When these extraterrestrial humanoid beings arrived on Earth, they chose to take residence inside the center of the Earth, because the surface of the Earth was inhabited by human beings. At this point in time in Earth's history, the human beings who lived on the surface of the Earth were all of one tribe, the Ebenoid tribe. Since they live inside the Earth, these extraterrestrial beings have now become interterrestrial beings. The center of the Earth where these interterrestrial beings reside also contains an inner sun. The inner Earth has been called by a variety of names by cultures around the world, including Shambhala by Buddhist, Agartha by Tibetans, Kurnuji by the ancient Mesopotamians, the Duat or Amin-Ta by the ancient Egyptians, Hades or the underworld by Europeans, Xibalba by the Mayans, and in modern times, the concept of the inner Earth has given rise to what is called the hollow Earth theory. Unbeknownst to many human beings, the activities of these beings which reside inside the Earth has affected the course of human history and human development. The first and most noble of the beings which resides inside the Earth is called the Shayuk. Compared to human beings, the Shayuk would be considered geniuses with exceptional intelligence, and telepathic and telekinetic abilities. The Shayuk have a dark brown skin complexion, they are between 5 feet to 7 feet tall, and their heads, brains, and cranial capacity is much wider and larger than the average human. The Shayuk come to the Earth's surface occasionally to teach and to trade with certain tribes of human beings. The teachings of the Shayuk are so profound that when they come to the Earth's surface to teach, they are often called deities, gods, priests, prophets, messengers, and seers, and because of this fact, the Shayuk have strict laws which limit the interaction of Shayuk tribal members' contact with the humans on the surface. The Shayuk commonly interact and have mixed in with the surface world humans called the Danakil or Danakil, also known as the Afar people, in present-day Eritrea, Djibouti, Ethiopia, and Somalia. The chief of the Shayuk is named King Fukur, and his daughter is named Princess Radiya, and two of his brothers are named Amo and Yashak, who has always been jealous of his brother King Fukur. King Fukur's brother Amo had fallen in love with a surface-dwelling human female, and he would sneak to the surface world to visit her, and would also pass himself off to the surface-dwelling humans as a psychic and a magician, and for these acts, Amo was exiled to live on the surface, 20 miles outside of the present-day city of Mecca in Saudi Arabia. As long as the people in the inner Earth spent most of their life in the inner Earth, then they will not die. However, to be exiled to the surface world means a person from inner Earth will eventually die like the mortals on the surface. In the caverns adjacent to the Shayuk, resides another group of nobles called the Sinin. The Sinin are also highly intelligent, but also have a fighting spirit. The Sinin are between 5 feet to 7 feet tall and have a variety of complexions from yellow to brown, and they are hairless and are most noted for their cone-shaped heads. The Sinin commonly interact and have mixed with surface world humans including the ancient Egyptians, the Olmecs in present-day Central America, the Mangitut people in the African Congo, and the Paracas people in Peru. The chief of the Sinin is named King Mamsa, and his daughter is named Princess Lucina, and his son is named Prince Atif. One of the wretched group of beings which resides inside the Earth is called the Samin. The Samin are grotesquely obese, pale, with long elephant-like noses, and are very negative and aggressive. The Samin were actually the manifested evil grafted out of the Sinin on their home world prior to these beings arriving on Earth. Since the Samin were grafted out of the Sinin, it is the responsibility of the Sinin to police and keep in check the evil activities of the Samin. It is said that an American named Richard Sharpshaver encountered the Sinin and called them the Turos, meaning interrogative robot, and he also encountered the Samin and called them Duros, meaning detrimental robot. One day, the wretched Samin raided and invaded the village of the Shayuk, stealing food and terrorizing the Shayuk family. When King Fuelkor found out about this invasion by the Samin, he sent a telepathic message to King Mamsa stating that the Sinin has neglected their responsibility to keep the Samin in check, because the Samin were currently raiding and invading the village of the Shayuk. Upon receiving the telepathic message from King Fuelkor, King Mamsa went with his brethren to the caverns of the Shayuk to stop the invasion by the Samin and to drive the Samin back to whence they came. After driving the Samin away from the lands of the Shayuk, King Mamsa apologized to King Fuelkor, but tension remained between the Shayuk and the Sinin for some time after the incident. In order to make peace between the Shayuk and the Sinin, King Mamsa offered his daughter Princess Lucina to be a wife of King Fuelkor. King Fuelkor accepted the peace offering from King Mamsa, and in turn offered his daughter Princess Radiya to be the wife of King Mamsa's son Prince Atif, as was the custom, and there was peace in the land for some time between the two tribes of the Shayuk and the Sinin. However, King Mamsa's daughter Princess Lucina was angered and outraged because she did not want her father to give her away to be the wife of the Shayuk King Fuelkor. Princess Lucina felt like an outcast and out of place living amongst the Shayuk people, and she did not like living by the strict laws of the Shayuk people. Princess Lucina always wanted to marry a man from her own people the Sinin, and she did not want to be married to a Shayuk man. One day Princess Lucina, now the unhappy wife of King Fuelkor, met Yashmal, the jealous brother of King Fuelkor, and they conspired together based on their hatred for King Fuelkor to have an illicit sexual affair together behind the back of King Fuelkor. Princess Lucina and Yashmal would travel to the surface world to the home of Emo, the exiled brother of King Fuelkor and Yashmal, and it is here where they would have their illicit affair. This affair between Princess Lucina and Yashmal went on for months with them sneaking back and forth from the inner earth to the surface world, and eventually Princess Lucina became pregnant. In her pregnant state, Princess Lucina would not return to the land of the inner earth, but would remain at the home of Emo, and Yashmal would stay with her. It was here in the home of Emo, 20 miles outside of the present-day city of Mecca, Saudi Arabia, where the child Yakub was born to Yashmal and Princess Lucina. The child Yakub, being part Shayuk and part Sinin, had an enormous head the size of 2 men, and he also had 2 brains. Knowing that they could not return to the inner earth because their affair had now produced a child, Yashmal and Princess Lucina decided to live and raise the baby Yakub for 5 years in the home of Emo, 20 miles outside of the present-day city of Mecca, Saudi Arabia. Yakub's father Yashmal would work as a scientist and a priest amongst the humans on the surface, calling himself by the title Mornuakan, the last high priest. Back in inner earth, Yashmal and Princess Lucina had been missing for years, and eventually it was found out by King Fuelkor about the affair between his wife Princess Lucina and his brother Yashmal. King Fuelkor ordered his soldiers to go to the home of his brother Emo and arrest Yashmal for his crime, and according to the laws of the Shayuk, Yashmal was put to death. Princess Lucina's life was spared because she now had a child to take care of, but her punishment was to remain exiled to the surface world living in the home of Emo, and to never return to inner earth. Depressed about her inability to return home, overwhelmed by her new responsibility to raise a child, and saddened by the death of her lover Yashmal, Princess Lucina kills herself by committing suicide. The 5-year-old child Yakub, now an orphan, is raised by his uncle Emo, and the child Yakub is emotionally disturbed and rebellious because of the death of his parents. The child Yakub grows to hate his people the Shayuk, and he also grows to hate all dark-complexioned people because he blames them for the death of his parents. The child Yakub desires to have his revenge when he grows up. Yakub starts school at the age of 4, and is teased and mocked about the size of his head by the surface-dwelling human children. This mockery and teasing about the size of his head that Yakub experienced as a child created low self-esteem, and further infuriated the already deranged Yakub, fueling his desire for revenge. Yakub's uncle Emo would tell Yakub stories about the beings in the inner earth and how the Samin were the manifestation of the evil grafted out of Yakub's mother's family the Sinin. One day, when Yakub was 6 years old, he was playing with 2 steel magnets in the home of his uncle Emo, and Yakub noticed the magnetic power of attraction and repulsion that unlike attracts, and like repels. By observing this, Yakub was inspired with a determined idea to create a tribe unlike any of the people on the surface of the planet, and this unlike tribe would be weak and wicked, and attract the other tribes on the surface of the planet, and rule over them with the knowledge of tricks and lies for 6,000 years. Upon coming to this realization, Yakub looked up at his uncle Emo and said, "Uncle, when I get to be an old man, I am going to make a people who shall rule you." Uncle Emo said, What will you make? Someone to make mischief and cause bloodshed in the land. Yakub responded to his uncle Ammo by saying, Nevertheless, uncle, I know that which you do not know. And it was at that moment, the boy Yakub first came into the knowledge of just who he was, born to make trouble, break peace, kill and destroy, and be the enemy to the Ebenoid people of Earth. Yakub knew in order to accomplish his plan he would have to study science, biology, and genetics. Yakub was a child prodigy in school, being exceptionally smarter than the surface-dwelling humans he was going to school with, and by the age of 18, Yakub had finished all of the colleges and universities of his nation. While in college, Yakub was mocked and teased being called the big head scientist. After graduating from the colleges and universities of his nation, Yakub began to preach a new doctrine to the people in the city. Yakub called his new doctrine Tricknology, and his holy book was called the Book of Tricknology of 120 Degrees. Yakub taught that if people followed his doctrine, then they would be able to rule the world for 6,000 years, and make slaves out of everyone else on the earth. Yakub made such impressions on the people that many people began following him. The children who once mocked and teased Yakub were now requesting to be part of what he was teaching. The girls who once laughed at Yakub were now women who desired him. As Yakub's teachings spread, he made more and more converts to his new doctrine, and the power of Yakub's doctrine began to intimidate the king of the surface-dwelling humans, who ordered to have Yakub and all of his followers thrown in prison. The police arrested all of Yakub's followers and put them in prison, and filled up all of the prison cells with Yakub's followers. However, there was not enough space to put all of Yakub's followers in jail, therefore there were still some people free who were spreading Yakub's teachings. The police notified the king that they did not have enough space for all of Yakub's followers, and at that point the king decided to go to Yakub's prison cell and negotiate a deal. The king went to visit Yakub in his prison cell, and the king said, "So you are Mr. Yakub?" Yakub said, "Yes, I am." The king said, "Yakub, I have come to see if we could work out some agreement that would bring about an end to this trouble. What would you suggest?" Yakub said to the king, "If you give me and my followers everything to start a civilization, and furnish us with money and other necessities of life for 20 years, I will take my followers and we will leave." The king was pleased with the deal offered by Yakub, and agreed to take care of them for 20 years, until Yakub's followers were able to go for themselves. After 20 years, the government began to make preparation for the exiling of Yakub and his followers. The king ordered everyone rounded up who was a believer in Yakub's doctrine, and they took them to the seaport and loaded them on ships. When Yakub and his followers departed, there were a total of 59,999 followers plus Yakub, making 60,000 total people on 100 ships. Yakub and his fleet of ships departed from an area 20 miles outside of the present-day city of Mecca, Saudi Arabia, and set sail on the Red Sea, and sailed all the way around the continent of Africa to go to their destination, which was the area which is currently called the island of Patmos, or Palam, in the Aegean Sea. While on the ships sailing around Africa to get to the area which is currently called the island of Patmos, Yakub began the second part of his plan, which was a eugenics human graftation experiment. Even though all of the people on the surface of the earth were of one tribe, the Ebenoid tribe, there was still some variation within the Ebenoid tribe, and Yakub began to highlight these differences, and Yakub taught these people that they were special, because Yakub planned to use them to graft his new tribe. Yakub developed his theory by studying his own genetics under the microscope and noticing that there were two different genes in him, one gene that was dark from his father Yishak's family, the Shayug, and the other that was not dark from his mother Princess Lucina's family, the Sinin. Yakub began to have children with the women on this ship, and the babies which were born that were a lighter complexion he would spare their life, but the babies which were born which were of a darker complexion, Yakub would have thrown overboard into the ocean. Yakub felt if he could successfully separate the darker gene from the lighter gene, then he could graft the Ebenoid tribe into its last stage, which would be albinoid. Yakub planned to create a tribe of albinoids, which he discovered was weaker than the Ebenoid gene, which would be unalike, to rule the Ebenoid nation for 6,000 years. When Yakub's followers found out about his new wicked plan, and learned that he was killing and throwing babies overboard into the ocean, 95% of his followers lost their loyalty to Yakub, and abandoned his mission and jumped ship. As Yakub's fleet of ships sailed around Africa, people who lost loyalty to his mission would jump ship into the areas which are now Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, Kenya, Djibouti, Somalia, Mozambique, Namibia, Senegal, Morocco, and Tunisia. 10% of the original 60,000 of Yakub's followers betrayed Yakub and jumped ship. 85% of the original 60,000 of Yakub's followers jumped ship because they were confused why he would do such a horrible thing, leaving only 5% of the original 60,000 of Yakub's followers who actually made it to their destination of the island of Patmos in the Aegean Sea. As king on his island, Yakub set up birth control and Planned Parenthood laws which would contribute to his plan of negative eugenics and genocide to breed his albinoid tribe. Yakub made it a law that only the lighter complexion people could have children. People with darker complexions were put to death, and when children were born, nurses were ordered to have the darker babies killed by pricking the brains with a sharp needle as soon as the child's head was out of the mother, but the lighter babies were allowed to live. Yakub's aim was to kill and destroy the Ebenoid nation. Yakub would have the dead bodies of the darker babies fed to wild beasts, and if they could not find a wild beast to feed the bodies to, they would take the dead bodies of the babies to a cremator to be burned. This is the level of intense hatred Yakub had in his heart. This process went on for years on Yakub's island as Yakub trained his sons and grandsons to carry on his work after he died. Yakub died at the age of 150 years old from a brain tumor. As the father of technology, Yakub taught his people a doctrine which would enable them to rule the world for 6,000 years. Yakub also taught his people that God is a spirit and a spook and not a man, and Yakub was the founder of the doctrine that unlike attracts and like repels. After 200 years on Yakub's island, all of the darker babies had been done away with, and all babies were born of a new tribe called the Rubetoid tribe. After another 200 years, all babies were born of an even newer tribe called the Citrinoid tribe. And finally, after another 200 years, which makes 600 years total, all the babies born on Yakub's island were of Yakub's desired albinoid tribe. It took 600 years to breed Yakub's albinoid tribe, and every imagination of their heart and all of their actions were wicked continuously. The evilness of the albinoids not only affected themselves, but also affected the other peoples of the world. Yakub's albinoids returned to the city where they were exiled from. Once back in the city, it took only 6 months for Yakub's albinoids to cause chaos and war amongst the Ebenoid people. The king of the Ebenoid people realized that it was Yakub's albinoids who were causing all the trouble, and the king made a decree to drive Yakub's evil albinoids from amongst them. The king rounded up all of Yakub's albinoids and stripped them of their clothing, and put an apron on them to hide their nakedness, and sent his army with them across the desert to cross the burning sands into the place which is modern-day Europe. Yakub's albinoids were roped into the mountains and caves, and the king's army would patrol the area to make sure Yakub's albinoids stayed in the mountains and caves for 2,000 years to ensure that these people are kept away from the Ebenoid people. During this 2,000-year period living in the mountains and caves without anything to start civilization, Yakub's albinoids became shameless, and lost all sense of shame and started going nude, and in the winter they wore animal skins for clothes and grew hair all over their bodies and faces like all the other wild animals. Yakub's albinoids tamed the wolves and dogs to live in the caves with them, and after some time the dog held a high place among their family, becoming their best friend. After 2,000 years of living in the caves, the wickedness of Yakub's albinoids was observed, and an Ebenoid man named Moshe was sent to civilize them. Moshe led Yakub's albinoids out of the caves. However, once out of the caves, Yakub's albinoids killed Moshe. Free from the caves, Yakub's albinoids went on a rampage throughout the earth, conquering and subjecting the Ebenoid people, pitting one against the other using the idea of divide and conquer. Yakub's albinoids began to execute Yakub's plan for them to rule the world for 6,000 years. A man named Mahamdu attempted to teach Yakub's albinoids to convince them to end their devilishment. However, this was still 1,400 years before the end of Yakub's albinoids' 6,000-year period of dominion over the earth. And so, Yakub's albinoids ruled the earth for 6,000 years, spreading their devilishment, evil, pain, suffering, and oppression to the Ebenoid people of the earth as designed by the big head scientist Yakub. The events of Yakub occurred approximately 6,600 years ago, and the 24 wise elder scientists of the inner earth foresaw the birth of Yakub 15,000 years ago. This history, or future, of Yakub and his people was predicted and foretold by the 24 wise elder scientists of the inner earth 8,400 years before the birth of Yakub. The 24 wise elder scientists of the inner earth were aware of the birth of Yakub, and they were aware of the things Yakub would do before Yakub was even born. The 24 wise elder scientists of the inner earth predicted that in the year 8,400, this man Yakub would be born, and when this man was born, he will change civilization in the world, and produce a new tribe of people, who would rule the original Ebenoid people for 6,000 years, from the 9,000th year to the 15,000th year. After the 6,000-year rule of Yakub's people, the Ebenoid people would give birth to one whose wisdom, knowledge and power would be infinite. One whom the world would recognize as being the greatest and mightiest since the creation of the universe, and that Yakub's old warring wicked world would be removed and destroyed, and the Ebenoid nation would be restored into power to rule forever and to establish a world of peace and righteousness. This great redeemer of the Ebenoid people, who was predicted by the 24 wise elder scientists of the inner earth to bring balance back into the world, is known under many names, titles, and attributes, including He who has no equal, He who there never was anyone like, the Supreme Being, the Mighty, the Wise, the Best Knower, the Light, the Life-Giver, the Guide, the All-Powerful, He who knows how to reproduce the universe and the people of his choice. But his mother calls him Yashmal. Yashmal was the son of Princess Radiya of the Shayuk family, and Prince Atif the Sinin family. Yashmal's parents, Princess Radiya and Prince Atif, married each other in order to establish peace between their two quarreling tribes. However, the union of Princess Radiya and Prince Atif was more than mere chance. Their union was specifically guided, selected, and arranged by the 24 wise elder scientists of the inner earth, who were also genetic engineers. They knew that the offspring of the union between Princess Radiya and Prince Atif would be the personification of order to balance out and offset the chaos of Yakub, who was the offspring of Yishak and Princess Lucina. Yashmal began his education on the day he was born, as is the custom amongst members of the Shayuk. It would be unheard of for a member of the Shayuk to wait until the age of 4 to start school unless the child was mentally handicapped. Being part Shayuk and part Sinin, Yashmal's head was noticeably larger than the other members of the Shayuk and Sinin. Yashmal had an enormous head, 2 brains, and a third enlarged pineal gland which sat in the center of his 2 brains, making the top of his head appearing to be shaped like 3 orbs. Amongst the Shayuk and Sinin, Yashmal would be called the big head scientist. However, amongst these tribes, this statement was not taken to be an insult, but rather a compliment, alluding to the individual's intelligence in the same way that saying big muscles alludes to an individual's strength. Since Yashmal was raised in his native land amongst his people who looked like him, he did not suffer from the same ridicule, mockery, and low self-esteem which plagued his cousin Yakub, who grew up in a foreign land amongst other than self and kind. As a child, Yashmal was an exceptional prodigy and a genius. Yashmal was also told stories of the evil activities which transpired at the hands of his cousin Yakub. One day, when Yashmal was 9 years old, he was playing with 2 electromagnets in the home of his grandfather King Fukur, and noticed that electrons flowing in the same direction through 2 electromagnets would create the magnetic phenomenon of attraction, and that electrons flowing in opposite directions through 2 electromagnets would create the magnetic phenomenon of repulsion. By observing this, Yashmal realized that like flowing energies create attraction and unlike flowing energies create repulsion. Thus, Yashmal was inspired with a determined idea to direct the flow of mental energy of the Ebenoid people of the planet in the same direction, so that the Ebenoid people of the planet will be unified again to be strong and righteous, and bring peace and balance back to the earth forever. Upon coming to this realization, Yashmal looked up at his grandfather King Fukur and said, "Grandfather, when I get older, I am going to make a people strong and righteous, and I will eliminate the devilishment which has come into the world to show and prove real power and wisdom, and bring back peace and supreme balancement forever." Grandfather King Fukur said, "What will you make? Someone to establish order and cause harmony in the world." Yashmal said, "Man plans, and I plan, and surely I am the better planner." And it was at that moment, the boy Yashmal first came into the knowledge of just who he was, born to establish order, bring peace, build, create, and be the redeemer to the Ebenoid peoples of earth. It is common for members of the Shayuk tribe to finish all of the coursework taught in all of the colleges and universities of the surface world by age 9, but Yashmal finished by age 7. If it took a member of the Shayuk tribe until age 18 to finish all of the coursework taught in all of the colleges and universities of the surface world, then that person would surely be looked at as being mentally handicapped or mentally retarded. Yashmal finished all of the advanced universal sciences which are taught by the schools in the inner earth by the time he was age 12, even though it is common to finish this coursework by age 15, but Yashmal was a genius and a prodigy. After finishing school, Yashmal met with the 24 wise elder scientists of the inner earth and told them of his intention to travel to the surface world as a bringer of peace and redeemer of the Ebenoid people. Yashmal was tried and tested by the 24 wise elder scientists of the inner earth, and once found worthy, at age 18, Yashmal traveled to the area presently known as the Mwanza region near the countries of Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya in Africa. Yashmal called his new doctrine Technology, and his holy book was called the Book of Technology of 720 Degrees, which was in a question and answer format designed to get the mental energies of the listeners flowing in the same direction, which would in turn create unity, harmony, and attraction amongst kindred, Yashmal's new doctrine was so powerful that he had millions of people from all of the tribes on the earth coming to hear his message and aspiring to be a part of his mission. However, from the millions of followers that he gained on the surface of the earth, Yashmal only selected 144,000, which he called the chosen few, to be a part of the next phase of his plan. And when Yashmal and his chosen few departed, he told the people on the surface of the earth he would be back in one day. So Yashmal selected 41,150 ebenoid females and 41,140 ebenoid males for a total of 82,290 people from the original ebenoid tribe. Yashmal selected 10,285 rubedoid females and 10,285 rubedoid males for a total of 20,570 people from the rubedoid tribe. Yashmal selected 10,285 citrinoid females and 10,285 citrinoid males for a total of 20,570 people from the citrinoid tribe. And Yashmal selected 10,285 albinoid females and 10,285 albinoid males for a total of 20,570 people from the albinoid tribe, which made 144,000 people total. Yashmal took his followers into the inner earth through an opening beneath the Great Lake in the present-day area known as the Mwanza region in Africa to begin his eugenics genetic engineering experiment of grafting the various tribes of people on the earth back into the original ebenoid tribe. Yashmal, being a master genetic engineer who was all-wise, right, and exact, knew that it was not necessary to kill anyone in order to accomplish his goal because he had knowledge of the science of dominant and recessive genes. Knowing that the ebenoid tribe was the first, then Yashmal knew the ebenoid gene would be the most dominant, followed by the rubedoid gene, followed by the citrinoid gene, and lastly followed by the albinoid gene. While inside the inner earth with his followers, Yashmal applied the science of dominant and recessive genes to design and engineer a system of arranged marriages by which the offspring born from each arranged marriage would have certain desirable qualities, and in time over a period of 900 years, all of the derivative tribes would have been grafted back into the original ebenoid tribe. Yashmal also observed that the gene of the ebenoid woman was the most dominant gene, and so Yashmal established the following rules of arranged marriages amongst his followers. 10,285 ebenoid women and 10,285 ebenoid men would marry to keep the ebenoid gene strong and pure. 10,285 ebenoid women would marry 10,285 rubedoid men. 10,285 ebenoid women would marry 10,285 citrinoid men. 10,285 ebenoid women would marry 10,285 albinoid men. 10,285 ebenoid men would marry 10,285 rubedoid women. 10,285 ebenoid men would marry 10,285 citrinoid women. 10,285 ebenoid men would marry 10,285 albinoid women. Yashmal would also keep 10 ebenoid women as wives for himself. The men and women were required to get married by age 19, and each couple were to have 2 children. Living in the inner earth where he was from, Yashmal was continuously regenerated and rejuvenated and did not die like his cousin Yakub on the surface of the earth. Yashmal was able to teach, socialize, laugh, play with the children, enjoy life, and observe the generations and progression of his followers over the centuries. The offspring of the ebenoid woman and the ebenoid man would always be ebenoid. The offspring of the ebenoid woman and the rubedoid man would also be ebenoid because of the strength of the ebenoid woman's genes. The offspring of the ebenoid woman and the citrinoid man would be ebenoid 75% of the time, and rubedoid 25% of the time, because of the strength of the ebenoid woman's genes. The offspring of the ebenoid woman and the albinoid man would be ebenoid 75% of the time, and citrinoid 25% of the time, because of the strength of the ebenoid woman's genes. The offspring of the ebenoid man and the rubedoid woman would be ebenoid 75% of the time, and rubedoid 25% of the time. The offspring of the ebenoid man and the citrinoid woman would be rubedoid. The offspring of the ebenoid man and the albinoid woman would be citrinoid. With the laws of arranged marriages in place, it would take Yashmal's chosen 144,000 people 46 generations over the course of 900 years to be grafted back into the original ebenoid tribe. During this time, for some generations recessive genes would tumble forward. After 12 generations, all of the albinoids had been grafted back into the citrinoid, rubedoid, and ebenoid tribes. After another 16 generations, all of the citrinoids had been grafted back into the rubedoids and ebenoids. After another 18 generations, all of the rubedoids had been grafted back into the ebenoids, leaving only the original ebenoid tribe. It was also observed that after 4 generations, If the albinoids refused to mix in, then they would be unable to conceive offspring after the 4th generation. After 8 generations, if the citrinoids refused to mix in, then they would be unable to conceive offspring after the 8th generation. After 16 generations, if the ruptoids refused to mix in, then they would be unable to conceive offspring after the 16th generation. Just like electrons flowing from atoms with more electrons to atoms with fewer electrons, it was necessary for the derivative tribes to mix back into the original ebenoid tribe in order to get recharged and sustain and maintain their existence. However, because of the science of recessive and dominant genes, by mixing back into the original ebenoid tribe, the derivative tribes would eventually be grafted back into the original ebenoid tribe in time, leaving only the original ebenoid tribe on the surface of the planet. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. And so Yashmal smiled at this fact, now having knowledge that the evil acts done by his cousin Yakub would be reversed just by letting nature take its course. The process of grafting the derivative tribes back into the original ebenoid tribe took 900 years, and once completed, Yashmal took another 100 years to teach and train his followers how to control and conquer the evil which existed within themselves, rather than attempting to graft the evil out, letting it manifest and personify as a being. After the 1,000-year period with Yashmal in the inner earth, Yashmal returned to the surface of the earth to the area presently known as the Mwanza region in Africa with 144,000 ebenoid people. When Yashmal and his 144,000 followers returned, the people on the surface of the earth said, "Yashmal, you said you would be gone for 1 day, and you were true to your word. You have only been gone for 1 day, but many of the people you have returned with are not the same people you left with. What have you done with our brothers and sisters?" One of the ebenoid women named Kidara, who was one of Yashmal's wives and one of the 144,000, spoke up and said, "I am the daughter and great descendant of your brothers and sisters, which it seems to you left with Yashmal just yesterday, but we have been with Yashmal in the inner earth for 1,000 years, and Yashmal has taught us the science of genetics and how to rid the world of evil, as well as how to conquer the evil within ourselves." Yashmal spoke and said, "Indeed, 1 day in the inner earth can be like 1,000 years. Yashmal's 144,000 followers then proceeded to teach the ebenoid people on the surface of the earth the way to defeat the evil currently plaguing the earth in the same way that Yashmal had taught them. Yashmal returned to the inner earth with his ebenoid wife Kidara. After returning to the inner earth, Yashmal was elected to a seat as one of the 24 wise elder scientists of the inner earth. Yashmal taught Kidara the secret to eternal life, and they had many children together. Yashmal told Kidara that the ebenoid woman is the human representative of nature on the surface of the earth, and thus the ebenoid woman is the key to destroying the evil plaguing the surface of the earth, and she is the key to bringing peace and balance back to the surface of the earth. Yashmal told Kidara that it was not him who the 24 wise elder scientists of the inner earth had prophesied about, it was her, the ebenoid woman. Yashmal told Kidara that he was merely a conduit to allow her to bring balance back to the earth. And so while the big head scientist Yashmal's followers execute his plan on the surface of the earth, Yashmal and Kidara wait with their family in the inner earth for the hereafter, that is to say, here on earth, after evil has been removed, and peace and balance has been restored.
Two brothers, 4 wins, little scientists. Love in the flesh to show the people what the time is. And if you can't understand it, divine this. Apply this, it's the big headed scientists. Two brothers, 4 wins, little scientists. Love in the flesh to show the people what the time is. And if you can't understand it, apply this.
According to what Master Farad Muhammad taught me on the race question, the origin of the races, in the beginning of the races, they numbered around 4. And from these 4 races of people, they has produced many different types of people. But they are not, say, independent in their beginning. They came from one. We say today we have lots of various colored people all over the earth. from, we say, from brown to white. We are not all the same color due to intermixing with such colors as black, brown, yellow, and red and white. This has produced many other various colors. And the origin of it, according to the teachings of Master Farad Muhammad, to me, was from a scientist, a God. We see him. We see him as a God. Back 6,000 years ago, started we say a scientific, or I should say, a master grafting work on the human being to produce a new civilization, a new race of people from the original race of people, or aboriginal people. This man, Yakub, who discovered in the joint of the black man that he had two people in him, and that he had learned through study and experimenting on germs that this second germ could produce a powerful people that would be able to rule that which they came from for around 6,000 years until the father, the aboriginal, produces one superior to his man. And that was this, that he taken through experimental work on the germ of man, a people of what we call today a white race. But before he produced it, that white race, he produced it a brown race. He produced it a yellow race, and so on. There is his first grafting from the black man according to the teachings of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom we see him and know him today as being God in person. That this grafting, in its first stage, he had a brown race of people from a black people. And it taken him, according to the teachings of God, 200 years to produce that brown race. And he kept up the process of killing off the browner or the darker one and marrying the lighter one onto the lighter one. For another 200 years, he had yellow race of people. And in this length of time, these brown people were spreading over the area, I would say migrating over the earth to find them a home to themselves. And so when the yellow race was produced, he started too, migrating over the earth. And from the yellow race, about 200 years, this grafting kept in process. There was on the same outlet, well, it was an outlet he was on, according to the teachings of Almighty God to me, in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever. At that time, 200 years, keeping up birth control law. This is what he established. He established it on this island, and there was his lab that he was working, we call it a human lab, to produce his man. And from this yellow race, he had a white race 200 years later from them. And this was the end of his work. This was the man he was trying to get to. That was our white race. And that made it, in the total time of his grafting out of black, white, 600 years. And this figure tallies with the Bible's teaching of the man being created in 6 days. This days here you have means 100 years each, 600 years. And this also tallies with the creation of the universe. That's the whole entire universe, according to the Quran, was also created in 6 periods of time. And so Mr. Yakub, the mighty scientist of that time, he produced his man on 6, because it did tally with the creation of the universe, and it was to this number that he could not further his work. And they would be masters, gods, to rule the earth and the people, everything of life, for 6,000 years. And at the end of 6,000 years, the Aboriginal people will have at that time produced another one, mightier than Yakub in wisdom and knowledge. And he would be equal with that one that created the heavens and the earth. And he would have the power and the infinitive wisdom to make his word be as the first one.
Assalamu alaikum. I do have a few questions. Could you please explain Yakub's grafted devil?
What would you like explained about it? But now I do remember. In fact, one of the questions one of the brothers just mentioned. So when he said that a man named Jacob grafted the devil in the year 8,400 on the island of Pilar, they kept giving figurative places. They was given allegorical interpretation. Yakub had the head the size of 2 men. And while in the backyard of his uncle, he discovered, while playing with 2 pieces of metal, that unlike attracted to light. And he told his uncle, I'm going to make the devil weak and wicked and give it the power to rule the world for 6,000 years. Then I'm going to come in my own good time and do what? Take the devil off the planet to show and prove that I am Allah. This is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught, and this is what Clarence 13X, the head of the nation of 5%ers or gods and goddesses, whatever name they chose, they have that right, teaches today. Now let's look into this here. The word Yakub is Jacob. We know that. It means to take someone else's position. That's what it means, supplant. To supplant him in the place of him. All right? Now, if we go back to Jacob's situation, we come up with Jacob's mother, Rebecca, trying to deceive Isaac, because he was blind. He was so old, and his vision went on him. Correct? And she preferred the soft son. You see that? The one that was soft, and they also say reddish. You see? We'll see the science that Master Farad Muhammad was teaching is deep. So what she did, the woman, was deceive her husband into giving the blessings of the household to Jacob as opposed to Esau. You follow that? Rebecca deceived her husband, Isaac, into giving the birthright to the son, Jacob, instead of to the son it should have been, Esau. Now, I've already told you what the son Esau did when he realized he was deceived. He was a result of the Mongoloid race, the Edomite race. Now, they come in all colors. Why do they come in all colors? Well, read and you'll find out in Genesis that Esau married an Ishmaelite and a Hittite. So he married white and black and mixed in. So there'll be black Mongoloid and there'll be white Mongoloid. They'll come in all races. You understand me? So when this woman deceived her husband, they placed the wrong son in authority. He was supplanted. This Jacob, or Yakub, was put in the place of his older brother Esau, his twin, by the way. Now, the Israelite nation says that Esau, because his name became Edom, and Edom means red or to blush, you know, the term blush in the cheeks, was the father of the white race. There's black people that blush red. They blush and their face turns red. That means that they are part of the white race? No. Just admit it's a mistake. And let's move on to the truth. So now what happened is Jacob fathers 12 sons by 4 wives. Because the genes have been scrambled. The devil did a good job of scrambling our genes. That was his thing.
When King Fulkor found out about this invasion by the Samin, he sent a telepathic message to King Ramses stating that the Sinin has neglected their responsibility to keep the Samin in check, because the Samin were currently raiding and invading the village of the Shayuk.
All right, y'all. That video, or whatever, it doesn't complete the teacher's lesson. All right. But I hope. Hold on. Let's check this out real quick.
My children, I, Yakub, your father, your creator, greet you here on the island of Patmos in the year of 8550. First, I shall thank you, my created people, the albinoid people, for adhering to my rules of planned parenthood and selective breeding to bring you into existence. I am here to pass on to you my final piece of wisdom which will allow you to rule the world for 6,000 years. I first envisioned creating you when I was just a boy after the darker tribes killed my mother and father and mocked and teased me in school. I have developed the best methods for controlling the darker tribes. You, my special people, my chosen people, my precious albinoids, you will have many empires if my program is implemented. As our boat sailed around the continent of Africa, I saw enough to know exactly how to control and rule over the darker tribes of the earth. Cords of wood as crosses for standing human bodies along the highways in great numbers and using the tree and the rope to lynch are tactics of terror to instill fear and to punish the disobedient. But you do not want to kill off all of the subjects you are ruling over. You want to maximize your usage and manipulation of them for your own benefit and gain. I am not here to enumerate problems. I am here to introduce you to a method of ruling over the darker people of the earth. I have a foolproof method for controlling the darker tribes. I guarantee every one of you that if installed correctly, it will control the darker tribes of the world for at least 6,000 years. My method is simple. Any member of your family can use it. I have outlined a number of differences among the darker tribes, and I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. These methods can work on a small scale and can work throughout the world. Take this simple little list of differences and think about them. On top of my list is age, but it's there only because it starts with an I. The second is color or shade. There is intelligence, size, sex, status, class, and location of residence, whether the darker tribes live in the valley, on a hill, east, west, north, south, have fine hair, coarse hair, or is tall or short. Now that you have a list of differences, I shall give you an outline of action, but before that, I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust, and envy is stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. The darker tribes, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Don't forget, you must pitch the old ebony male versus the young ebony male, and the young ebony male against the old ebony male. You must use the dark skin versus the light skin, and the light skin versus the dark skin. You must use the female versus the male, and the male versus the female. Also, all albinoids must distrust all ebonies. But it is necessary that all ebonies trust and depend on you albinoids. The ebonies must love, respect, and trust only you albinoids. My children, these rules are your keys to control. Use them. Have your wives and children use them. Never miss an opportunity. If used intensely for 1 year, the ebonies themselves will remain perpetually distrustful. Thank you, my children. Sincerely, your father, Yakub.
Well, that's a menacing laugh for sure. You're welcome, Sister Sandra. Listen, brothers and sisters, today's presentation is all about exposing you to different ideals and concepts. It's up to you to further research this material I present to you, whether you accept it as factual or relevant to your situation. But for all of us, I think we can come away with a better understanding of what's going on. Now, me, myself, I use all this as an allegory. This will explain why things are the way they are. Because unfortunately, Yao, there's very few sources of empirical data that we can truly rely on. The King James versions of the Bible, the original Latin translations of the Romans, or even the Greek. We have to understand that when we're dealing with these spiritual issues, when we're dealing with these racial issues, what we're dealing with is a family problem. Young elder, truth seeker, peace and power, welcome to the show. Yeah, that dude, this sounds like Willie Lynch. Hold on, we only got a few more moments. I wonder, should I, no. Let's check this out. We'll keep it in the Islamic family.
I am not the only one vulnerable. Pandemonium is the only word that I can use to describe the thing here.
I want to kill somebody. Before the night's over, if Malcolm dies, somebody gonna die.
The killer has taunted the return. Patricia Hood was a complete surprise.
Was that another airplane?
Our newsroom.
Everybody get out now.
Was eager to attend these meetings for some time between now and 1970, and at just such a rally as this, the Muslim leader has intimated that he will give the call for the destruction of the white man.
This coming destruction of the white man, will there be any bloodshed involved in this, or will it be a complete mental thing?
According to the teachings of the prophets of old and of God himself, there will be plenty of bloodshed.
Here comes their spiritual leader, Elijah Muhammad. He's actually Elijah Poole of Hawkinsville, Georgia.
The Christian religion has failed. You want freedom, you want equality, but get none.
Those words are still true today, is it not? You want freedom, you want equality, but yet you're still getting beat down by police officers. Yet you're still getting beat down by loan officers. Yet you're still getting disrespected and beat down by correctional officers. Words are still true today.
What about you, brother? How do you feel about cannibalizing?
Uncle Elijah Muhammad is trying to teach all our original people they are in bad shape.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Uncle Elijah Muhammad trying to wake them up.
You think he'll do it?
Yes, sir.
He's the only man with a program, right?
Yes, sir.
I've listened to the Elijah Muhammad movement and the Black Nationalist movement, and I have heard the NAACP. And I don't feel that the NAACP views are the way out.
That's because the NAACP movement at the time was run by small sombreros. That was the Jewish movement, using black folks as the stepping stool for Jewish, basically, progress. What did they say? If you can't do it to a nigger, then you can't do it to a Jew. That's not my words. That's their fucking words. So you better wake up. You can tell this was way back in the day, but what they're talking about is still relevant today. Let's continue.
I think that together, with our own people, more can be accomplished, rather than with the white man involved in it also, because as it is, we've already been accepting too many crumbs from this man, and we've never really gotten a real loaf of bread from him.
He told Newsbeat that his life changed for him when the Muslim faith taught him no longer to be ashamed of being a black man.
Any black man in America. He's not trying to build churches, he's trying to build businesses. Because businesses make jobs for you, and churches don't make jobs for anybody but preachers.
Real?
Mr. Malcolm, what do you think of Martin Luther King?
I think that any black man who teaches black people to turn the other cheek and suffer peacefully after they've been turning the cheek and suffering peacefully for 400 years in a land of bondage under the most cruel, inhuman, and wicked slave master that any people have ever been under, he is doing those people an injustice, and he's a traitor to his own people.
Some years ago, when I first studied the Gandhian philosophy and the method of nonviolent resistance, I came to the conclusion that it was the most potent weapon available to oppress people in their struggle for freedom and human dignity.
If it were possible for them to get a fair trial, there would be no necessity for a trial at all. These are the victims of police bullets. And you don't take the victim in court as a criminal. You take the one who shot the victim in court. And it is the police who should be on trial here in Los Angeles.
Nation of Islam members are charged with assault. So here's the gig. Cops roll up on you, a scuffle ensues, you get shot, one of your partners get killed, and your ass is arrested for assaulting the fucking system or the police officers. Doesn't that story sound relevant today? Well, other than the scuffle. Nowadays, you don't even have to scuffle. You just reach for your wallet, they unload. You tell them your name, they unload. You look at them cross-eyed, guess what? They unload. So this is nothing new. It may be new to you. You might not be, I didn't know that this went down back in the day. But you certainly know it's going down today. You should certainly see the headlines today. And, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but Spirit is guiding me. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked in the next 3 to 4 days if there's not another police shooting of an unarmed black citizen, whether it be a man, woman, or child. For all I know, could be occurring right now as these words are going into the microphone. And I am so saddened by that cruel reality we all face. Many of us are like lemons. Not lemons, but gazelles. We see the lion attack one of our weaker brothers or sisters and they're devouring the body. And we're just, oh, well, at least they didn't get me. Let's continue.
So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you? And I, for one, as a Muslim, believe that the white man is intelligent enough. If he were made to realize how black people really feel and how fed up we are without that old compromise and sweet talk. Stop sweet talking it. Tell him how you feel. Tell him what kind of hell you've been catching, and let him know that if he's not ready to clean his house up, if he's not ready to clean his house up, he shouldn't have a house. It should catch on fire and burn down.
Being on the Ole Miss campus this weekend is something like being in the eye of a hurricane. You know you're in the midst of trouble, but there's a quietness and serenity here that tries to mislead you.
Americans are free and sure to disagree with the law, but not to disobey it. For in a government of laws and not of men, no man, however prominent or powerful, is entitled to defy a court of law.
James H. All right, I got to turn this off. I just got a copyright heads up on the audio. Oh, which is sad. Because I wish we could have the ability like other shows that uses clips or whatever, and they don't get molested by YouTube censorship. But, we're not, I guess, privileged enough to be able to do what we want to do to teach our own people. And what I mean by own people, every human being on this planet with the right spirit inside of them, the spirit of liberation, the spirit of unity, the spirit of freedom. We have to make this network work. We have to come together. We have to share our ideals, bounce them off one another, and implement them. If not, then you know what? There's going to be a guy 30 years from now, just like me, on some little rinky-dink show trying to do his or her part for our collective liberation. Because apparently we're not getting the damn message. You hear me, young elder? We're not getting the message. Rashid, Brother Muhammad, we're not getting the fucking message. Sister Sandra, we're not getting the message. Brother Leonard, guess what? The message is going unheard. And that's because we are unwilling to actually do the damn research, get our psychological ducks in order, man. Now, I'm not calling for no insurrection or some military campaign because that's fucking foolish. Let me show you why that's foolish. Copyright thing went away. Let me show you why it's foolish. Okay? African Aerospace and Defense, September 16th through the 20th. Euro Naval, Indo Defense, IDs, AMBB. This is United Emirates, United Arab Emirates, and Pakistan, right? But that's not the kicker. Let's go into offensive weapons. This is why all these names here, Yao, are systems designed to kill human beings. And there's quite a few. There's 3, basically, maybe even 4. Yeah, there's 4 tabs that goes all the way down. I can click on the Storm Shadow. What the hell is the Storm Shadow? Oh, there it is. It's one of those pod missiles that flies up underneath the jet. Description, Storm Shadow. It's a French design, is a long-range, precision, stealth, standoff, air-to-surface. So in other words, they fly over your house and your house catches on fire like Brother Malcolm suggested. Missile designed to destroy heavily defended fixed targets, such as tanks, bunkers, armored personnel vehicles. It is fired and forgot weapon, which can be fired from low to medium altitude with a cruise missile flight profile, meaning the missile itself can go into the target. Now, I'm sure they probably have to have a laser designator on it, but maybe they're using radar or some other technology. The Storm Shadow and the Scalp EG are exactly the same missile, but the difference, sub-assemblies to attach to the French or British aircraft and secondary equipment, okay? I'm not saying a fucking insurrection, because anybody talking that crazy shit nowadays is straight up leading your ass to death, unless they have similar weapons. But seeing how there's not one nation in Kemet with a nuclear bomb, the only one that did have it was South Africa, which once Nelson Mandela became the president, they took those 8 weapons back to England. We have to understand, Yao, this is no joke. So a military or a uprising with pitchforks and have you is retarded. I would say get out and vote, but that's laughable as well. There's only one solution to our problem, Yao, and that's a spiritual solution. That is changing the hate, the lack of self-respect we show each other. We got to change that dynamics of our condition. Once we do this, then I believe change that we can actually see tangibly will occur. Brother Smoke, peace and power. Welcome to the show. Because the reality is this, Yao. As long as the Democrats and Republicans know that they either don't have the black vote or the black vote is in the bag, there's no incentives for them to give your ass tangibles. See, they don't know what the homosexual man or woman is going to vote for their candidate. They don't know what the Hispanic man or woman is going to vote for their candidate, or even non-melanated voters. But both parties are pretty sure which way of the African American black vote, the Negro vote, is going to go. Traditionally, it's Democratic. And I want to share with you guys something. This right here, folks, is the abortion death clock. Many of you probably never seen this because you're too busy looking at porn or whatever nonsense you could be looking at on the internet. In the United States today, 1,733 babies died. Now, I don't know how many people died of corona today. But this year in the United States, 533,159.4 just rose babies will die. Now you're running, oh my God, COVID, we need to stay at home. We need to. There's a genocide occurring right now. Since 1973, Roe versus Wade, 62,161,744 children were exterminated. How many voters? 62 fucking million potential voters if they didn't become a felon before, as they turn 18, as long as they weren't a felon. As soon as they turn 18, they will be able to vote. Boom. Not here. Not here. And the old people are dying at damn near the same rate as the abortions. I know there's probably 1,000 or so deaths. Oh my gosh. Planned Parenthood since 1970. 8 million plus babies killed. Now you want to sit here and be like, oh, those Vietnam War veterans killed babies. What Planned Parenthood is doing should make Hitler, Gandhi, Mao Zedong, even Genghis Khan, Hannibal Lecter, don't even matter. It should make them blush. Planned Parenthood's out killing all you fools. This is so fucking sad. Worldwide since 1980, 1.5 billion children exterminated. This year, 25 million children exterminated worldwide. And today, just today, look at the numbers climb, y'all. 80,000+ children were exterminated. Yes, Brother Al, another great point. You forget selective service, which during their wars send more to get killed and add to the numbers. This race, this group, this people of the earth, I've shown you time and time on this show, you are slated for death. This is the culture of death doing what it does. This isn't about peace nor prosperity. It's about control and domination. If you took the economic aspect out the game, what's the justification for killing the babies? Oh, we got to save Mother Earth. Even though you know that all of us can fit into the state of Texas and we still have basically an acre. All human beings, not just the American citizens, all human beings on this in this earth can fit into the nation of Texas. Not nation, my bad. I'm not trying to give them no ideals. The state of Texas. With basically an acre to have. In fact, I want to make sure I'm not mistaking Texas for Australia. How many acres are in the state of Texas? Let's put everybody into the state of Texas. So I was correct. All right. So we quite literally can put everybody in the state of Texas. And we still have the rest of the world unoccupied by humans. So we're not overpopulating the world. That's just another lie that the true enemy of humanity wants your ass to believe. Before we go, let's check out some of the headlines. Get ready for the worst fall season in health history. COVID-19 death toll rivals rates during 1918 flu pandemic. Let's go. I want to go and pull up. I want to pull up the COVID death map, okay? It might take a second because, yeah, even though this is supposed to be high-speed internet, as you guys all know, the only thing that's high-speed about charter internet is you paying their damn bill. Global cases. Let me get this down to where y'all can see it as well. 20 million global cases. Now, you can already tell this is Africa. This image hasn't changed. If you look at some of my older videos that I discussed, you can see the image of Africa hasn't changed. Now, some could argue, well, they just don't report down there. True. And they're still using this jacked up map. Greenland is not this big. Africa is not this small. But more importantly, hold on, I can't even move this thing. Why did that all turn white? In perspective, that's why we're asking for 40 acres and a mule. Yeah, but you know, brother Al, here's the gag. We can ask all day long. But the sad thing about it is they're not going to give. You know, you got to remember, this whole continent right here, when Columbus and the crew came over, they didn't ask to take it over. They didn't say, hey, guys, you know, who are living here, who's been living here for thousands of years. Hey, guys, we're going to take over and manage all your land. We're going to kick your monkey asses off the land, and you have to come to us using our money and our tender to try to buy the shit back. No, what they did was conquer the land. You see, the only true constants in this world is the fact that those who have power dominate those who have no power, period. I don't care if you're talking about Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, Antarctica, South America, North America, Greenland, Iceland. It does not matter. Japan, Oceania, which is basically this part of the world right here. This is the true state of being that you humans find yourself dwelling in. Now, you can sit and wait for a deity to come and rescue you. You can sit and wait for an alien to come and liberate you. You can sit and wait for the oppressor or the colonizer to have a change of heart. You can do all that. That's your right. But as history has shown us, people who have power very seldom give that shit up. Even when you look at the parable of Moses and the children of Israel coming up out of Egypt. Moses, did he not walk up to Pharaoh? Pharaoh, let my people go, homie. Pharaoh's like, hell to the no. Grandson, don't forget, he was able to pass as Pharaoh's grandson. So he was melanated. So therefore, the children of Israel were melanated as well. An Ashkenazi Jew couldn't have walked in there to Pharaoh talking, who is this? They'd be like, you ain't my grandson. Who is this guy? Get him out of here. But anyhow, back to the parable. He was pushed away. Moses, come back. Come on, man. Let my people go. Pharaoh's like, well, show me some power. Show me that you got some power. Show me I should fear you, man. And he throws his rod down and becomes a little snake. Pharaoh's like, that ain't shit. Hey, magician, snap his fingers. Y'all three, throw your shit down. Boom, boom. And they turned into snakes. But Moses' snake ate the other three. Sent away. Moses finally comes back to Pharaoh and says, look, Pharaoh, check this shit out. because you have angered my God is going to put upon your ass some plagues and some calamities. Pharaoh still wasn't hearing that shit. Man, take your old bust ass out. Man, you're lucky I don't put your ass in chains. Next thing you know, Pharaoh's calling on his doctors. He's calling on his magicians and everybody else. Please save my baby boy. My baby boy is struck down. And like anybody who fakes it, like the fucking magicians and the doctors of the time who are faking it until they make it, they can help that boy. He was dead. The only one who could resurrect him is he who can resurrect the dead. But that was not in Pharaoh's court. So what did Pharaoh do? He was like, oh shit, because of the power of God was on him. He had to let the Israelis go. He had to let the Jews go. He had to let the Hebrews go. Now, he chased their ass down because what people don't tell you, the Hebrews did not just go up out of Egypt empty-handed, yeah? They took the gold. They took the silver. How do you think they had the gold to make the golden calf? They didn't mind that shit on the way. They plundered fucking Egypt before they left town. And they don't even want to give you out reparations. Pharaoh does not want to give y'all reparations. You have to understand, human nature has not changed since the day of Pharaoh. They showed it to you a couple of months ago during the COVID quarantine crisis. You go up there, let's say you went to the government back in August of last year. Come on, we need reparations. Oh, there ain't no way we can have reparations. We don't know how to divvy it up. We just don't have no money. Fast forward a couple of 6 months, COVID's popping up. All suddenly they got money to cut everybody a check, fixing to cut people a check again. But yet you, my friend, do not have economic validation. You're like that parking ticket that they refuse to validate. We're not going to validate you economically. Get the fuck out of here. We don't have no money for you. But we do have money for BlackRock. We do have money for Vanguard. We do have money for defense. And you best believe you have better keep paying that defense note, because you know why? Let me show you why. I have to show you why. This is why you better keep paying that damn defense note. That's the only way we keep our creditors up off of us. Oh no, we can't pay you back. Well, America, we like our money, but well, we ain't paying you back. Now, if you want to visit from the 101st Airborne Division, keep talking crazy. We're like the big fucking bully that goes around shaking kids for their lunch money. But we do it in a way like, we'll pay you back, homie. We snag up their money with no intentions. I'm sorry, y'all. There's no way this nation's going to pay back $26 trillion. Now, actually, this number really should be inflated up to like $62 trillion when you account for the social services such as Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and all those programs. We're not paying this money back. We can't. Quite literally, we can't. So what's going to happen when a country that we owe money to finally gets on par with us militarily? And let's just keep it real. Let's stop talking in between the lines for a second, y'all. What's going to happen when China gets a military basically up to par with ours and we owe them all this money? In fact, let's just ask that question. How much money does the USA owe China? Oh, that ain't too bad. That ain't too bad. We only owe them $1.1 trillion. And that was as of October 2019. Hold on, let Move that up just a hair. That's 27 or 26.7 of the 4.12 trillion in T-bills, T-notes. That's basically promissory notes of government issues. The rest of the 23 trillion national debt is owed by either the American people or by the U.S. government itself. All right. So when China finally gets militarily correct, because this right here, this is why we're not really wanting to go to war for Hong Kong. Chinese know now they can bend Hong Kong over a hickory stump and have their way with it. Ain't nobody gonna say shit. We're too busy trying to round up protesters here. We're too busy trying to kill babies here. We're too busy trying to promote LGBTQ, Y, Z, X, Y, whatever. Taste the rainbow, motherfuckers. We're too busy trying to distort, debase, corrupt, degrade the society. And you know, speaking of degrading, don't you think Kamala Harris should denounce Nicki Minaj for the wet pussy song? I mean, you know, if they're buddies, why, or not that they're buddies, but if they support women empowerment, why are you going to put a song out there degrading a woman like that? See, her fake ass. Hold on 1 second. I know I'm going all over the place, yeah. But the spirit's got me. Grabbed me. I want you guys to see this little report. Hold on. We gotta go to my little thing. I think I clicked on it, and I'm not for sure. I'm pretty sure. There it is. Right here. Listen to this, y'all.
Just when you think you're safe. Just for a start, the 3D game.
Oh, shut up.
In search of a world-class education.
Hold on.
Well, we got our first look at the Democratic ticket in the U.S. presidential race when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris appeared together for the first time as running mates in Delaware. During their speeches, they slammed President Trump, with Harris saying he was not, in her words, up to the job. Harris is making history as the first black woman and first person of Indian descent.
You know, why are we doing this again? The first black woman. So, I mean, doesn't that just fall into the racist definition of blackness? One drop of black blood, that makes you black. What black folks were in control? One drop of white blood makes you white. Why did they call it like she is? She's the first Brahmin female candidate. She's about as black as Elizabeth Warren is red. Let's continue.
To join a major political party's ticket.
My mother and father, they came from opposite sides of the world to arrive in America. One from India and the other from Jamaica, in search of a world-class education. But what brought them together was the civil rights movement of the 1960s.
No. What was their stepping stone was the civil that supposed to help nappy-haired black Americans. But we don't get that. We get even thrown out of the shit that we fucking get beat up for and shit, get killed for. We get thrown out of that shit. Oh, racism's dead, yeah. Bring in the fags. Bring in the fucking whoever, however you want to describe this chick. And they're going to get the benefits. No, she did not come out of a black pussy. She came out of an Indian Brahmin pussy. That's why her hair is fucking this way. She probably can't, if you took her panties down, she ain't going to have no nappy hair between her legs. It's just going to be straight as fuck. All right, let's continue.
And that's how they met as students in the streets of Oakland, marching and shouting for this thing called justice in a struggle that continues today.
And for more, let's head to New Delhi and CNN's vertical.
There's another fucking Brahmin. Or I'm going to start calling her Top Ramen. I'm tired of saying Brahmin. She's Top Ramen. She's a fucking noodle.
Sud, who joins us now via Skype. Good to talk with you. So you had an opportunity to talk to some of Kamala Harris's maternal family. What did they tell you about her and the influences she came?
They called her a cunt, Becky.
Rosemary, I spoke with the maternal uncle of Harris, who's 80 years old, but he's so active for his age. I must mention that. An anecdote that he mentioned, which was very interesting to me, was the influence of her mother on Harris. Now, imagine a 19-year-old Indian woman deciding to go overseas for her education. She traveled all alone. One fine day, she told her parents...
I'm sorry. I keep listening to this chick, and I want to say, hey, I want a pack of smokes and $20 on pump 4. She reminds me of a gas station attendant. Fucking do. Let's continue.
And said, I want to go abroad. I want to go to America. I want to go to UC Berkeley, and I want to study there. Her parents were extremely progressive. So the father, I believe, said, all right, Shamla, go ahead. I can only sponsor you for a year. After that, you're on your own. And she did live up to the expectations. She managed to complete her doctorate there, and then she joined the civil rights movement as well when she was in university. A lasting impression on Senator Harris is from the mother as well as the maternal grandfather, who she used to visit very often in India.
Hold on. What about her Jamaican roots? Oh, I forgot. They're going to probably put them at the very end of this bitch.
Yeah. Those were her roots that she keeps talking about so proudly. Here's more on
that. My mother, who raised me and my sister, was a proud woman. She was a brown woman.
Oh, I get it. The daddy wasn't in the picture. The mom was weak in pussy. And I guess, he didn't wear a condom. Because you're not seeing the dad in none of these pictures. It's like, you're supposed to be a black woman. Where's your black daddy? I mean, that's the only reason why you're black, right?
She was a woman with a heavy accent.
And her mother, Shamla Gopalan, was also the biggest influence in Kamala Harris's life.
The answer is absolutely yes, Joe.
After the big announcement, Harris's sister wrote in a Twitter post, "You can't know who Kamala Harris is without knowing who our mother was." In 1958, a precocious 19-year-old Indian, Gopalan traveled thousands of miles from her home and family to pursue a doctorate in nutrition and endocrinology in America. She soon became an active civil rights crusader while studying at UC Berkeley.
Once she went there, she almost felt free. And she took...
I'm sorry, brothers and sisters. You better get this through your fucking minds and you better understand it right. You go over there to their country, they're going to treat you like dog shit. But they come over here, they basically use, like I said, the black civil rights, the average Joe, they use them for a stepping stool. They'll step on your fucking neck and head to get to where they want to be and talk shit about you once they get up there. You better understand this point. I don't think this broadcast is going to mention her daddy at all. The Jamaicans, they don't give a fuck.
In politics, she used to bring whole series of literature, leftist literature.
Jesus, I can't even understand this.
He was a great philosopher.
In her book, Harris says, "There is no title or honor on earth I'll treasure more than to say I am Shamla Gopalan Harris's daughter." Harris's visits to India with her mother kept her connected to her roots. Her grandfather, who had strong views on humanitarian issues, worked closely with officials to reallocate refugees. Their conversations had a strong influence on her.
Those walks along the beach in India really planted something in my mind and created a commitment in me.
Oh shit, it just came to me. Don't you see, y'all? I'm going to call it. Joe Biden will most likely win this fucking election. But you know why? Because we're going to have to solidify our ties with India for WW3. The big show, y'all. And who better to be the liaison between the U.S. empire and India, our best ally in these coming days. It's going to be the remnants of the old British Empire versus the UE versus China versus Russia. And then we can have the smaller states involved, such as Iran and whatnot. It just hit me. We are going to war, y'all. Yes, we are going to war. I hope you understand what time it truly is, y'all.
Before I even realized it, that has led me to where I am today.
Harris's maternal uncle, Gopalan Balachandran, who lives in Delhi, tells us how the senator turns to her amma, which means mother in Tamil, for guidance even after her death.
I don't have to tell her, make your mother proud. She said, what are you telling me? Everything that I do, I ask myself, would Amma approve of this?
Kamala in Hindi means lotus flower and is an important symbol in Indian culture, rooted deep in the bottom of the river. Very similar to Harris's Indian identity, which she wears.
Okay, she's a fucking Indian. Why are we calling her a goddamn black woman? Fuck the dumb shit. Now, we sat up here and listened to this motherfucking bullshit for 4 minutes and 30 seconds. They hear shit about blackness and they hear shit about nothing relating in any way, shape, or form to fucking Kemet, unless you're suggesting that the Indians are black. How come we can't say she's the first Indian woman vice president candidate? That would be fair and honest. But no, because I mean, fuck, she don't even because she might have one drop of black blood in her, because I haven't even seen the daddy. We don't even know what the daddy looks like on this presentation from CNN. And once again, this is under Fair Use Act, YouTube. We're doing this because we're doing a little scholarshiping, education. We're doing commentary. We're speaking on the issues of today, and we're using this footage and we're picking it apart and breaking it down. All right, that's the fucking disclaimer. But am I correct? Am I correct, y'all, or am I fucking wrong? Have they mentioned anything about her being black on this whole CNN bullshit? Or has it been all about jerking off fucking India? Oh, India's so good. Oh, India. Ooh, oh. We don't need no motherfucking hand job. We need a fucking mind job. We need to understand what we're really up against. They're straight up lying to your face. She's the first black. She ain't the first black. She's the first Indian Brahmin. You know what? Fuck this shit. I'm calling Judge Joe. I'm fucking triggered. I'm calling Judge Joe. I know this broadcast may go on for hours, so y'all fucking start cooking some food. That's all I got to say. We're calling up Judge Joe right now.
May I help you?
Yes, Judge. How you doing? This is Patrick. I just wondered, do you have a couple of moments to speak to the audience?
Well, I can very briefly because I'm on another show right now. I got about 2-3 minutes. Go ahead.
All right. What do you think about Kamala Harris talking about she's the first black female vice president candidate?
She's either a psychopath or a damn liar, but she's not black.
Right.
Her father says he is his white ancestors who were planned. He says he is the product of white ancestors who own plantations and Hindu caste, Brahmin caste Indian. His wife, the mother of Kamala Harris, is a Brahmin caste Indian, Hindu. That means she's an Indo-Aryan, which means he's Caucasian. Right. He is half Indo-Aryan Caucasian and half Euro-Caucasian. So the mother on her birth certificate for Kamala Harris lists her race as Caucasian. Not white, because she's not white, but she's Caucasian. So if all of your parents, both of your parents are Caucasian, where the hell did you get black?
Yes.
Plus, they celebrated her as the first of 5
Indian American U.S. senators. They all got sworn in. CNN did a feature on her as the first Indian senator. She's been lauded as that. She's been explained as that. She's claimed that. But what happened is she was born in San Francisco because her non-American citizen parents had an extended work visa there. They left San Francisco, went to Canada. She went from kindergarten through 12th grade in Canada. She lied about what she was, used a photograph, and got a scholarship to Howard University that was supposed to be reserved to deserving black folk. And she joined the AKAs, and my mother was an AKA, so I can talk about them. But that's no more meaning you're black than the fact that Hubert Humphrey, Vice President of the United States under Lyndon Baines Johnson, and a presidential candidate against Tricky Dick Nixon, was in fact an Alpha Phi Alpha who got made as an undergrad in the 30s in Minnesota. That doesn't make him white because he's an alpha. You can be Jamaican and be from any part of the former British Empire, Hong Kong, Singapore, Indonesia, Pakistan, India, Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, and you can be everything but black, but you can still be a Jamaican.
Right.
And she's lying through her filthy teeth. And if she gets in, what's going to happen is Joe Biden, with his sick house, likely to retire within a year so she can become the first U.S. president who is female, but she still won't be anybody with black American ancestors. She will be an Indian American, and her husband, who is Jewish and white, will be the first Jew at the White House, and he will be first husband. And on top of that, by a rule of succession set up by the 20th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, Nancy Pelosi moves over from House Speaker of the House to being Vice President of the United States. One fell dump, well, one fell stroke, and you got two women running the United States. Nobody elected for that purpose.
Wow. There is
nice little game plan.
That is a nice little game plan.
Now, I got to go back to what I was doing, but thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too, brother.
All right.
Wow. Did you hear that, y'all? Did you hear what Judge Joe just said? You got to understand, man. This is a media game, y'all. Just a game. Don't fall for the damn okie doke, y'all. Don't fall for it. She's no more black than fucking Trump is. Now, for those of you who are understanding and getting the message, I thank y'all. I thank y'all. Because this is very serious, man. I mean, it's bad enough that we lost the image of being Hebrew Israelites. You know, I mean, you suggested the common person that the original Jews were black. Oh, no, they weren't. No, they weren't. We lost the image that we built the pyramid. No, that was built by Elizabeth Taylor and them blue-eyed folks. Yeah. Everything positive and good about us is always being usurped by some snake in the motherfucking grass coming up saying, hey, I'm them, y'all. Like that fucking non-speaking douchebag cunt Carly B. She portrays a black chick on stage, but when you listen to her non-English speaking ass, oh, no, I'm just, I ain't black. Blah, blah. Just like Ice-T's bitch ass. Ice-T rolled to your brother Leonard. Hey, nigga. Man, you should smack the taste out of his motherfucking mouth. Don't you call me that. Don't you call me that. Pow! Let's finish this up. I might fuck around and call Dr. Short.
On her sleeve.
There's
no doubt that the primary source of learning for Senator Harris was from her mother's experiences and the conversations that she had with her maternal grandfather when
Wait. Hold up. Wait a minute. Do you guys not see a commonality between her and the so-called first black president, Barack Obama? The black daddy is nowhere to be found. The black dad, it's like those old bitches on that Wendy's commercial. Where's the fuck's the beef? Where's the beef? Where's the brother? Where's the black father? Where is the black daddy? Obama, where's your black dad? Kamala, where's your black daddy? And I'm tired of hearing all this. Oh, my mama, blah, blah, mama, blah, blah, mama, blah. Mama's cool. Don't get me wrong. When you scuff your knee and you need to put a Band-Aid and you need someone, you need a knife sauce titty to put your head on when you have a little headache, mama's great. But when someone's fucking knocking the door down, trying to get in there and kill everybody, daddy's better. Where is the dad? Where is the dad? Let's listen to this duck-faced bitch and hear what the fuck she has to say. I'm sorry, yeah, I'm triggered.
Visited India, which was very often accompanying her mother, or when the grandparents would visit them in America. Back to you, Rosemary.
Rosemary. And this bitch looks like she had fucking cheek fucking implants. Rosemary's fucked up. Dimples from hell. Oh my God, man. Fuck it. I'm going to call Dr. Short. I'm calling Dr. Yeah, we're fucking putting some calls out today, yeah. We're putting some motherfucking calls out today. I don't know if Dr. Short is free or not. I should even call it Rhonda Harper. Okay, hold on. Where, brother? Man, I'm just flying through this shit. Hold on. Before I call up Judge Joe. Hold on.
The number you have dialed is temporarily not in service.
Well, that's not cool. Hold on 1 second, Yao. I'm giving a lifeline out to a friend. I know that you guys could be like, man, God, he's so unorganized. And you're well within your right to say that. But you know what? It is what it is. What the fuck? Where am I at? Oh, right here. I'm sorry for the cussing. If you have children, just say, hey, True Power's been drinking. That's why he's a little livid. Let's call.
You have reached the voicemail box of...
No shit. That went right to voicemail? Get the fuck out of here. All right, fuck it. We're calling Doctor then. We're going to call up Dr. Short. Hopefully he's not busy. I don't know. It could be dinner time where he's at. I don't know. Woo! That's loud as fuck.
You have reached the voicemail box of...
Oh, my God. Okay, I guess we ain't giving a fucking call out to a friend. Fuck that. All right. Hey, sometimes that's how it is when you have a spontaneous show such as mine. Hold on. I'm going to type in Kamala Harris father. Let's see if there's any videos. Where is her daddy? There's no pictures of her daddy. I mean, her white daddy. The father calls her a fraud. Oh, shit. I normally don't. I'm not. You guys can tell that I'm not.
If
I'm
you
not
manage a team, you should be using Monday.
subbing to
It's a
his.
platform to manage any team. And
Hold on. Let's hear what's going on.
You guys, Carla sent me this. Carla sent me that, and somebody else sent me this. They said this is a related story, and I want to read this to y'all. Kamala Harris's father, and this happened back in 2019, back in February, about a year and a half ago.
Brother
Says Kamala
Nick.
Harris's father is slamming her for making a travesty of her Jamaican heritage. And most of you guys would understand. You told me to check my Cash App. I'll check it. Woohoo! Y'all gonna make me stay up all night. Hey.
Oh, speaking of which, TPIM SR Live has a Cash App. Yow. let's continue. It's $ TPIMSR live.
Username _error. That's a weird name.
There it is.
It must be a troll. Username _ It's a wild name. Y'all, somebody over here. His name is. I got username.
Come on, Tommy, get to the fucking point.
_
Fuck.
Error _
Oh shit. Weird.
Join those bots. Go bots. Same as Twitter. I have a Twitter that's the exact same thing. All right. Experiences with her mom and her father. But because your father was an Indian and you wanted to, this is what just scares me about people. When you just completely just try to identify with somebody else just to get along with somebody else. Yeah, she's proud of being Indian, but not proud of being black. But I guess if she go on the Breakfast Club, I watch how she talk about how she used to eat hog mogs and chitlins. Watch how she probably pull out some hot sauce out of hers. Watch. She gonna try to swear up and down. She knows she love curry goat and oxtails. You don't know nothing about no ackee and saltfish, ho. You don't know nothing about no cow foot soup.
Come on, man. Get to the daddy's information.
Ain't no plantains in that rice.
It wasn't
Somebody
so
said, Lord
sad.
of mercy.
It wasn't so sad, man. Come on, Tommy. What the fuck?
But you don't know about no man that's water.
Let's jump up here. Dude, I'm jumping like minutes ahead, and now we had to hit a commercial. Wow.
The RPG mobile hit of 29.
Be slandered and slain. Hundreds of New Englanders crammed the prayer hall, the home of the Unitarian Universalist congregation.
Brother Al, she's gonna eat a wedge of watermelon. I'm down with the blacks, yow.
Congregation that is based not on a single savior, but on wisdom from the world's religion, which inspires us in our ethical and spiritual life. Like South Church, the campaign to confront Donald Trump in 2020 election offers at this ridiculous early but already fraught and frantic stage a deity to suit every desire. At least 24 Democrats already have or soon will enter the contest. In June, they will begin to debate each other on stages as wide as wheat farms. Next February, they're still a year away, the first intra-party primary elections and arcane country caucuses will begin to winnow the crops. So here we go. Look, this is why I don't read a lot of shit that they talk too much. I get it that it's supposed to be, I can picture this. When I was young, I liked reading stuff like this. It's about to cut off over here on Instagram. Come over to YouTube. I get it. But nigga, just say what you got to say. You don't have to say all this shit. I'm reading this thing. Oh, no, man. I got time for all this shit. Big ass words. Yeah, this is pretentious.
Big ass words. Oh, come on, man. He has to get to the good shit. It's like he's just trolling for dollars.
Okay, here we go. I'm a proud daughter of Oakland, California, Harris said in January when she formally announced her candidacy at Howard University, her historically black alma mater in Washington, D.C. That she considered herself to be African American is beyond dispute. I was born black and I will die black. Y'all, that's what she said when she was running for president. God, dog. She says, I was born black and I'm gonna die black. She just said this. Why would you trust this person who just told you she was Indian? Now she black. She told a radio interviewer a few days ago, crucial to her candidacy will be her defense of her record of filling the penitentiaries of the Golden State with legions of young African-American men, which the way you heard her talk, and I want to say if I'm wrong or not, the way you heard, and thank you, Desi. I see Desi. Desi not only sent me a recipe for mango lassi, but she sent me $277. I might be able to talk about black women, but it's one black woman I can't talk about. And that's the beautiful Miss Desi, who for years have been one of my staunch and most avid supporters and one of the most friendliest individuals I've ever met in life. Desi, I'm telling you, I've never met a woman sweeter than you. Everybody else around me has some kind of agenda. We've never gone through stages of where we don't speak. We've never gone through any awkwardness. We've never gone through any of this. She's just always been a good person. Always. And I want to thank you for that. I asked for a recipe.
Oh my God. All right, I'm done with Tommy. He's bullshitting. He's on his little money kick, which I get. All right. I want to go back to finding. I just want a picture. I just want to see a picture of her daddy. Is that too much to fucking ask? I just want to see a picture of the dad. I haven't seen one yet. If I have seen one, I'm totally unaware. Okay, here's some images. Let's see some images of dad. Damn, does dad look black? For real? Like Judge said, man, he looks like a fucking Indian. Actually looks more Asian than anything. But like I said, it just came to me during the broadcast. We have to tighten up our alliance with India. And what better way than having this chameleon? This chameleon right here. I'm black, y'all. Please. Well, this is what we're up against, y'all. This is her dad. You can see the thin lips in her. He has true Negro features. Straight hair. I guess a reasonably broad nose. Big ass ears. And thin lips. Yep, that's just what every brother looks like. Now let's take this image right here. And then let's jump over here. And let's just type in black man. And I'd be damned if this comes up with some sort of monkey shit. I'm going to probably fucking punch my damn computer. All right. Now that's a black guy. Yeah. Now let's do a cross comparison. Now, that guy versus that guy. Let's see. Small ears. If he would allow his hair to grow out, I'm sure it'd be nappy. Broad, strong nose. Strong chin. Full lips. There's another black guy right here. Hold on. Typical nappy hair. Broad nose. Strong lips. Healthy teeth. And small ears. Versus... let's do this side profile so you can see these ears. Fucking Dumbo ears. I guess he still kind of got the nose. A little hookish. But I would say the hair's straight. So, and what does this mean? You know, it's not a matter of who or what they really are. It's a matter of what they're trying to fucking portray. That would be like me saying, look, guys, I'm straight up Asian, y'all. Meanwhile, I'm Asian. Oh, of course he's mixed down. Judge Joe just told you his people are Caucasian slave owners and others. Of course, he's that. We have to be honest, Elder. If we're not honest, then we end up with this guy being kicked to the fucking curb. Shit, before it's all said and done, motherfucker, what does a black person really look like? Huh? Let's put this guy up. Let's put up the first black president. Let's just analyze some fucking features, huh? Creatures, features. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Let's see if he has, he damn near looks like her daddy, don't he? Let's see if he has negroid features. Nappy hair, nah. Small ears, eh. He still has the nose to a certain degree. Lush, full lips, eh. But that's your first black president. And there's your first black female president. Both of them are fatherless. You won't see a daddy around them. Where's your daddy, Obama? And I ain't talking about Larry Sinclair. Where's your daddy? Where's your daddy? Kamala. Kamala, Dr. Short cracks me up. Where's your daddy? And then we have this guy. The typical phenotype for a melanated man in North, South America. After this, I'm back on the lineage train. Brother K Jr. Peace and power, man. Peace and power. Oh, they look like Obama and Camilla almost look like they could be fucking brothers and sisters. This is my sister Kamala. This is my brother Obama. But this is who we claim to be. That's why we ain't getting nowhere politically, y'all. How the fuck is a Brahmin Indian chick gonna help you out other than put your ass in jail? Don't forget, she hemmed up a lot of brothers and sisters. Police abuse, white police abuse black people out there, and I can't prosecute them. But a brother or sister caught, maybe they were selling drugs, maybe they're not, who knows? Let's give them 100 to 1. If they had powder cocaine, it'll be 1 year. If they have crack cocaine, it's 100 years. I think they may be going down to 18 years. Why is that? Well, it's just, I guess, a matter of fact, most black people do crack, but most of the people I have observed in my lifetime actually engaging in crack was not melanated. They were actually poor white folks. It was before the crystal thing came through. I'm talking about the early 90s, late 80s. And then somewhere in like 97, 98, they got hip to crystal meth, so they leave the crack alone. They went strictly to crystal meth. Then they graduate to ice, and then they go on to get their drug academic scholarship in heroin. And then they OD and die. That's why they're giving out free needles all over the damn country. They didn't give out free crack pipes. Fuck, they didn't even give out public attorneys for black folks. See, once again, just like the COVID and the reparation thing, when it started affecting wealthy white folks like it did in the beginning, all of a sudden we need to cut checks. We need to everybody stay at home. And then we figure it out. Oh my God, it's really just killing Hispanics and blacks predominantly because they're fat, diabetic, and all this good shit. Because they eat the slave food. They don't get proper nutrition. They get starch and sugar and blood. I know you guys heard Dr. Sebi. You have to recognize this is a concerted effort to exterminate you. It's a concerted effort to get this guy erased and this guy put in his place. Yes, you are going to be replaced. He was not the first black president. He was the first gay president. He was the first, I guess we could say melanated president because he has a little melanation in him. But other than that, he doesn't share the same black experience. How the fuck he's going to share the same black experience when he's living up Lowell Santoral's household, getting sent to private schools, having a tranny as a nanny? He had a tranny out as a nanny. Wow. Wow, wow. I don't know what to say, man. At this point, all I want to do is get me a glass of whiskey and slam it, and grab me another glass of whiskey and slam it. Because this is quite frustrating. You're still going to have these motherfuckers out here. I'm voting for Biden. He got a black chick on his shoulder or elbow or whatever the fuck. But he doesn't. He has a racial chameleon, just like that one chick. What's her face? Oh man, she was with the NAACP. What's that whore's name? Dojan, or Dezalian, or whatever the fuck. Rachel Diozon or some shit. All right, Doziard or whatever. You guys know who the fuck I'm talking about. And this is who you get. Hold on, I want to say Kamala Harris hates. I already looked this up, didn't I? Black folks. Well, we don't see no. Let me look at the memes. Hold on. Well, they don't have no memes. Oh my God. Okay, but let's check this out. Kamala Harris's family. Let's just do this. There's the first man right there, soon to be first man. First man. Wow, she's lighter than dude. Get the fuck out of here. She's lighter than dude. Wow. Look at that arm. Look at this. This dude's all covered in freckles, most likely Irish of some sort. But once again, it's not about her race per se. It's about her being a racial chameleon. She can't legally be vice president. Her parents weren't citizens. No, that's not necessarily correct, Brother Nick. She was born on U.S. soil. Technically, she is a U.S. citizen. So, yeah, we don't have the Obama deal. Where's your blah, blah, blah? All right. Look at this. Hold on. Let's look at these angry pictures. Wow. So she can be the vice president. I'm just saying, is it too much to ask for her to be real about who and what she is? How come she can't have pride in being the first Indian woman to be a vice president? How come we can't do that? All right. But we can't. You know the reason why? Because by all means necessary, they got to get this guy out of office. Now, I'm no Trump fan. I'm no Biden fan. The guy I would love to see be president, honestly, would be Dr. Randy Short. He's astute enough. He knows history. He's well educated, well traveled. I'd rather see that brother become president. But that would never happen because he's too black. 392, peace and power. Welcome to the show. So, the reality is this, and you heard it here first. Joe Biden's going to win. Joe Biden's going to flop out. Kamala's going to become president. She's going to solidify ties with India. And that's going to kick off World War III. In fact, let's go there, because a lot of you young people who hear my message today, y'all going to be caught up in this shit. All right? Let's see what this does.
Build custom industrial machines in days.
World War II ended 75 years ago. It was the darkest period of humankind, even though just...
Wrong. Slavery was the darkest period of humankind. American chattel slavery, which lasted for 400 fucking years. I don't want to hear no bullshit about a couple of million people being thrown in ovens when we were fucking castrated, lynched, thrown as alligator fucking bait, fucking sexually assaulted men and women, forced to fuck mothers up in the breeding farms. So I'll go on with that dark history bullshit, but let's continue.
20 years earlier, World War I ended. A war to end all wars, supposedly. Yeah, that turned out well. The 7 Years' War and Napoleonic Wars could also be labeled as world wars, in a sense. With so many wars throughout human history, it's quite possible we're just several international incidents, trade wars, civil wars, or revolutions away from the next truly global conflict. So, where could it start? Million mobile device downloads worldwide. You play as a commander. Central government control might induce further separatist movement for them from Russia. It's not impossible to imagine a situation where the entire Ukraine destabilizes due to suspicious elections or an internal economic crisis exacerbated by the global crisis caused by the coronavirus event. If such destabilization happens, the lack of central government control might induce further separatist movements, not just the ones in the regions of Donetsk and Luhansk, controlled by existing separatist forces. Indeed, the two self-proclaimed republics of Donetsk and Luhansk claim a much larger territory that they control, and if the Ukrainian central government falls apart, they might seize the opportunity to try and expand. Russia's own response would be key, of course, and would decide whether such an event would remain a local war or would flare up into a larger incident. Russia has been feeling threatened by the US for some time. That feeling never really went away, of course, after the end of the Cold War. But ever since the events that happened in Ukraine in 2014, the relationship has been pretty bad. Various examples of political and economic pressure, like the US attempts to stop economic infrastructure cooperation between Russia and European countries, like with the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline, have only made the matters more tense. Just like Russia felt compelled to take Crimea in 2014, as it was fearing it would lose access to it for good, it's not out of the question that Russia would openly support the separatists once again, perhaps even to a greater degree than before. Once Russian forces do start operating inside Ukraine in massive numbers, rather than in covert formations like before, the line would get very blurry. Where might Russia stop with its incursion into Ukraine? Where might the West decide that enough is enough and send its own troops into Ukraine? And when armed forces from two sides are so close to each other, inside a country ravaged by fighting and civil war, incidents can very easily lead to catastrophe. One side might cause accidental deaths to the other side, for example. The other side might retaliate. Then all hell might break loose. A similar situation, again involving Russia, could flare up in the Baltic region. Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania.
Okay, this motherfucker's talking about Russia. It ain't Russia. All right? It's going to be Hong Kong right here.
Or it could be so tense that any U.S. military asset near the borders get...
I don't want to see solar, okay? What I'm trying to get you out to see is that the stage is set, all right? Let's see about, hold on one second. I want to go here real quick. I want to go right here real quick. USA trade war with China. All right. The Chinese-U.S. trade war is an ongoing economic conflict between the world's two largest superpowers. All right. National economy. I wish we can get. Hold on, let's try a video. I want you guys to understand. Here we go, right here.
As orders increased despite a resurgence in new COVID-19 infections, the manufacturing activity has accelerated to its highest level in nearly 1.5 years in July. However, the fears about sustainability of a budding economic recovery still persists. However, road to recovery for manufacturing likely remains strong, with the surveys showing hiring at factories remaining subdued for a year now. About 72% of industries reported growth last month. High-frequency data, such as weekly applications for unemployment benefits, has suggested that the economic recovery started in May, with the opening of businesses was faltering. Claims for jobless benefits have risen for 2 straight weeks, while a staggering 30.2 million Americans were receiving unemployment checks in early last month. The economy of the US suffered its biggest blow since the Great Depression in second quarter, with GDP contracting at its sharpest pace in at least 73 years. But momentum in factory activity could be already slowing. Among major US firms, Boeing has reported a bigger than expected quarterly loss and slashed production on its wide-body programs. Factory employment was already in decline because of the Trump administration's trade war with China. A separate report from Commerce Department, it showed construction spending dropped 0.7% in June. It was pulled down by declines in both private and public outlays after decreasing 1.7% in May. The third straight monthly decline had pushed outlays to one-year low of $1.3 trillion. Economists forecast that construction spending would rebound 1% already.
However,
with Japanese automakers.
Okay, that didn't really give us too much information. But basically, you got to realize that Chinese manufacturing capability supersedes our own in this nation at this particular moment in time as we are speaking. What does that mean? Well, that means that we can have tanks, we can have airplanes, but fuck, where are we going to get the spare parts? In fact, many of you guys don't realize a lot of your toilet paper, your paper towels, your napkins, your tissues, that all those textile products come from China. So fuck around getting a war with these people, and guess what? You won't have shit to repair your cars and shit with, and you also won't have toilet paper to even wipe your ass. We had better wake up and realize the mad men and women leading us down this road of devastation, they're going to be cool because they have alliances with other countries. They'll leave the sinking ship, and they'll leave us all on the USS Titanic. The USA Titanic. Well, while we're hearing Cardi B rapping about her wet ass, nasty little cooch box, other motherfuckers playing music and serving up motherfuckers drinks, but the son of a bitch is going down the shitter. There it is. Smoke less. I received hand sanitizer today from China. What the fuck? And you know what? If I was a Chinese worker working in these factories, and I know that America be talking shit about my nation and shit, I'll be pissing on the fucking chairs I'm sending over here. I'll be shitting in the refrigerators, in the backside. So when you get that shit in your house, like, damn, this smells like fucking noodles and tofu. I will fucking be the food that we get from China, you know, whether it be whatever. I'll be coughing all over that shit. Fuck it, feed them beans. The good old days where America could run around the beach with our shirt off, kicking sand in other motherfuckers' faces. Fuck you, you little bitch. Those days are coming to an end. You can't be the bully forever, brothers. Sisters, you can't be the asshole at the party for fucking ever before too many people. You know what? I think we could take this bloated motherfucker. Come on, let's bum rush this bastard. Let's beat this son of a bitch down. I'm not advocating the destruction of this nation because I have no other nation to go to. That's not the point here, guys. The point is we got to realize that people who are running this country into the motherfucking ground are the same motherfuckers who are going to refuse you economic viability. They're the same motherfuckers that say, fuck your reparation, but we're going to give people stimulus checks. Give the black community a stimulus fucking check. Shit. You talking about COVID, how bad that is. Many of us have been in a terrible way for a very long time. For a very long time. And a lot of people don't want to accept this. They don't want to acknowledge this. So therefore, we get more of the okie doke. We get more of the running around. We get more of the bamboozle, swan swiggling, tit jiggling. I mean, it's really sad. As long as they have a fucking fat ass twerking, oh, I don't care if the country goes to hell. I'm too busy drinking my beer looking at this chick that I'll never ever meet in reality. Motherfuckers are so caught up into this fantasy bullshit when a bitch comes up talking about she's black and she's obviously Elizabeth Warren 2-point motherfucker. No one even questions the shit. Yeah, she's black. Oh, she got the spick of melanization in her. She's black. Yeah, absolutely. Of course, she has none of the collective experiences that we had. Now, I'm not saying that she could have been walking down to maybe Starbucks to get herself a caramel frappe and someone roll up, hey, you fucking stupid nigger, and they drive off. Yeah, that might have happened to her. More likely probably haven't because she probably ain't walking nowhere. But other than the fact that when a racist white brings it to her attention, she is quite not one of them. What else makes her black again? Certainly not how she treated us. Certainly not how she honors and respects her dear father, who is probably questionable when we come to the issues of race. Do you expect we live in a nation where we can be a man one day and a woman the next? Oh, what do you expect? Oh, shit. Brother Al, don't trigger me. I've gone all this time without any, I guess, I was accused of being a gay basher, all right, without any alluding to the homosexual BS or whatever, all right? Once again, it's not the fact that there's anything wrong with being a homosexual. It's just not right for me or my family or my children or anybody I know and love. But, you know, that's aside, that's a totally different issue because the homosexuals are taking over our movement through Black Lives Matter. And they're doing the same thing as Kamala over here is doing. We're oppressed. We're oppressed. No one told you to take a dick in the ass, dude. That's your behavior. It's getting you caught up. And you white boy fags, all you gotta do is wipe the cum off your motherfucking chin and put on a suit and tie, and you're accepted as one of the fucking boys. But what about you? What about you black folks? Oh, you start bitching and moaning about being oppressed. Oh, well, if you just bootstrap that shit, why are you bitching and moaning? This is the greatest country in the goddamn world. You don't like it, leave it. Really? So I can find racism in the other parts of the world? Because don't forget, racism is not a United States phenomenon. That shit was exported from England like syphilis and smallpox, y'all. Infected the whole motherfucking world. My bad. Syphilis came from Columbus fucking the natives here in the United States or here in the Americas. But they did fucking send out smallpox and racism. We had better come together and figure out a true strategy. Because like Dr. Claude Anderson said, Dr. Claude Anderson, by the year 2050, black people won't even own a 0.1% of this nation's wealth. We usually own 0.5% of the nation's wealth. These politicians have handled all or most of the country's industry, economic power to China, or handed all of or most of the country's economic industrial power to China. The years so that we should be at the Chinese mercies. The 1% is getting paid while U.S. crumbles. That is so true, Brother Smoke. You see, the 1% who actually owns the company, they realize, look, I can take this company and take this shit to China, pay these motherfuckers noodles on the dollar, bring back the bullshit they put together and sell to these dumb motherfuckers using Walmart and other big chain stores and get fucking paid. And that's exactly what they want. We went from auto workers, machinists, and even it affects the carpentry field to fucking McDonald crew worker, janitors, motherfucking telemarketers. We went from a manufacturing economy to a service economy. It's not really working out well because in the service world, racism really, because typically there's no union. to protect minorities, but racism gets rampant. I have seen fast food workers call black men and women niggers. I've seen that. I've heard that with my own eyes. I have seen fast food workers, girls, getting straight fucked on boxes of frozen meats. And they'll take those hamburgers and put them on the fucking grill with her nasty ass on it. They'll put that shit on the grill and cook it and serve it to your ass because you don't give a fuck. Let's be honest. You don't give a fuck, and they certainly don't give a fuck. I have witnessed brothers and sisters in the culinary arts pick up hamburger patties off the floor, put it on digging in their ass and get ass juice and swipe that shit on the bun. Taking Modi biscuits out the walk-in cooler that's been up in there for probably 2 or 3 weeks, has a layer of motherfucking green. They didn't even pull off the green shit. They smothered butter on that bitch and shoved it into the fucking oven. And I've seen more atrocities, more shady dealings. I actually seen a motherfucker take grease out of what is known as a grease trap. And there's a water cooler system. There was a big gray water. I saw this dude. He was smoking a motherfucking joint while he did it. And he fucking slopped that nasty ass grease into the water system. So when the people were getting their sodas, that grease was coming through the fucking soda lines. I've seen this shit. Don't tell me it don't happen. I heard workers bragging to each other how they pissed on their motherfucking hands, y'all, and then they tossed the salads and put them into the little boxes, man. So you keep on living your motherfucking stupid ass dream, going through McDonald's or wherever the fuck, thinking you're some big baller, but you're really eating piss, shit, and motherfucking cum, dude. Yeah, I hope you choke on that. Motherfuckers wondering how they getting sick. Oh, I just ate this burger now. I don't feel too good. Because you just ate some booty juice, motherfucker. There's no reasons why men and women shouldn't be at home cooking and preparing their meals they motherfucking self. Taking the lunch bucket to work and eat your own motherfucking shit. But no, that's too much like work. I want to act as if I'm some sort of landlord or king of the fucking castle. And I'm going to go up to Burger King, treat the workers like shit, and I'm going to be a king for fucking 30 minutes to an hour, however your lunch is. But you're not being a king. You're being a motherfucking court jester because these fast food motherfuckers are clowning your monkey ass. And before you start hitting me with, oh, true, it's different in my motherfucking rallies I go to. It's different over here at Long John Silver's that I go to. Motherfucker, it's all the same. You got it, Brother K, the hood rich motherfucking bitch ass mentality. I'm going to fake it till I make it. No, motherfucker, you're going to fake it until you catch some disease like herpes, hepatitis, or some other nasty communicable disease because you refuse to feed your motherfucking self and your family. You refuse. Oh, feeding my family's like being a slave. Well, motherfucker, don't lay with the bitch and have kids if you don't want to feed them your motherfucking self. And the sad thing about it is when these kids, look, yeah, the grossest thing I ever saw, straight business, man. Straight business. It was when they had the BLT, the little sandwich where you had the meat on one side and like the lettuce, tomatoes, and bullshit on the other side. I saw this motherfucking white boy whack off and jizz as I opened up the motherfucking cooler. This motherfucker was in the process of jizzing on this motherfucking sandwich, y'all. I was like, what the fuck? Closed the door, went on my own business. That motherfucker sent that sandwich out. Yeah, I'm a bad guy, should report this. I don't give a fuck. That's what you get better understand. When a motherfucker's getting paid minimum wage and they're only 16 years old, they don't give a fuck. I'm just happy that wasn't my motherfucking sandwich. Hard telling who ate that motherfucker and what they got from this dude. Hopefully he was clean. Hopefully he was clean. But you take your ass down there to these fast food joints with your little nasty ass attitudes, and I'm guaranteeing you, you're getting boogers, you're getting butt juice, you're getting genital juice, spit. Shit, I see motherfucker take earwax and wipe it on a motherfucking chicken McNugget and put it back in the damn drawer. So it's like Russian roulette. Now you want to play these games. You want to run around here and shit on so-called lower skilled workers. Don't be shocked when you are eating their shit. Quite literally. Don't be shocked. Do you see? I had an opportunity once to go to work at a store in the city, St. Louis, Missouri. The way I saw the white managers enter, oh yeah, it's an all black area, all black workers on the line, all black workers in the drive-thru, all black workers cleaning up the shitter and cooking. But the assistant manager, the store owner, the general manager were all white men. One was gay, the other two were fat, and they were trying to fuck as many of those black girls as they can get their grubby, dirty, filthy, nasty hands on. And I say this because that shit was not consensual. Now you could be like, well, those girls just want to come. That shit was not motherfucking consensual. Because I hollered at some of the chicks after the shit went down. And these motherfuckers know that these chicks didn't have no motherfucking recourse. They couldn't get no lawyer. Bitches were broke. Minimum wage back then was like $3.45 or something. I saw this homosexual. Pisses me off. I should have whipped his ass. There was a young brother. He was new. And he was taking out trash. He had to get all the trash together, break down the little boxes and shit. This faggot ass motherfucker come up behind this man, this young boy, and grabbed him around the motherfucking chest and grinded his dick up against this dude's booty. The dude had such a look of utter shame on his motherfucking face. He never came back. Now, I say that to emphasize a lot of brothers are being molested and touched up in these fast food joints too. It's not just the girls. It's not just the girls. Now, what if that little brother needed that extra cash to help out on the home front? Now he can't even do that because this faggot over here done fucked that up. If you ever see a grown man or even a young grown man, and what I mean by grown man, a dude over 16, if you ever see pain in another man's eyes, I mean real fucking pain, that shit hurts you too. Like I said, I should have whipped that motherfucker's ass, but I did not, because why? I needed motherfucking paper at the time to handle my shit too. Shit, I was only 18. This motherfucker was like a 30-year-old man. Of course, he was thin as fuck, probably some sort of what they call female impersonators back then. Female impersonators, they dress up like a chick, shake their little fucking ass at some whack-ass club. And the dude targeted young black males. That's where he wanted to put his little Vienna sausage up into, a black butt. But the motherfucker grew up way out in the sticks, way out in the country. But he was up there because he was friends with the owner of that motherfucking store. And so was the other dude, the other white dude. Now, the other white dude, I ain't gonna lie, he was almost cool. You know, we would drink and shit on the clock, you know, didn't give a fuck. Other kids were smoking weed and doing whatever. You know, I didn't really trip on the GM so much because he was like, you know, he kind of did his own thing. He's just kind of get along, kind of, you know, just This is old happy-go-lucky. But the faggot was wrong and the owner was wrong. Now, a lot of people, I know a lot of people don't give a fuck about these workers. Not just the fast food guys. You know, you also have the little box chain stores where sex goes down. If you want to get, you know, you want to be a part of the team, you got to suck my dick. Oh, you don't want to suck my dick? Okay, fire this motherfucker, get another motherfucker in here. That Me Too shit should be expanded to encompass men that have been fucked with on the job too. Because these motherfuckers are not playing no damn games, man. They want the system to remain the same because while you are economically, as long as your ass is economically non-viable, then they can get some KY jelly and fuck you in that motherfucker. Man, you got a Foot Locker story? Call in. Fuck this shit. That story needs to be heard. Hold on, let me post this number. I want you to call in and tell us your Foot Locker story. For real. Now, no one's going to see your phone number and shit. Right? Brother, right? Nobody's going to see your phone number. We'll keep that shit on the down low. But you call in, and I want you to tell the world your motherfucking story, because this is some bullshit. We got to fucking shine the light on this shit, y'all. Quit fucking keeping this shit to yourself. Shit. It don't do nobody no good as long as you know. All right, we're waiting for the phone call, brother. The caller line's open. The 636-209-5044. Call in, share your story with us. All right? Because the silence, this is not the time to be silent no more. Let's let all this shit out. Let's get this shit out in the open so we know what the fuck we dealing with. You see, a lot of people want to play these games. And call-in line is open for everybody, by the way. Not just right, but everybody, you know, can call in. But once I get somebody on the line, all I ask is wait till that person's finished and you can call in. You know, when I was in high school, hold on, here we go. Hold on. Here we go. Hey, welcome to the show, caller.
Can you hear me? I'm on the Bluetooth.
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. All right. So my story is up in this happened in Westchester County in White Plains Galleria Mall.
Oh shit.
So I was working there and I was an assistant manager. I've been in that company in total for like 15 years. I don't work there anymore. But when I was there and I was noticing these young girls, I would say between the ages of 13 and like 16, used to come there and they would ask applications. And me being an assistant, I wasn't the hiring manager. So I used to pass them on to the hiring manager and let them know, you know, they're looking for work to fill out applications. Here's the application. And then I would go back to doing myself.
Right.
So one day, I come in and one of the girls is there. And I'm opening. It's me, the manager, and another part-time. So we open and we doing sales. The manager takes the girl in the back. And I guess he's having a meeting with her or, you know, an interview.
Right.
So we working. You know, a little busy at that time. They just redid the store. The other manager fell the store, whatever. So I go back to the back, and I see the girl sucking off the manager, like behind the damn speaker rack. I was like, you know, I ain't saying nothing because, you know, I was cool with the manager at the time, but I'm like, what the fuck, my nigga? I'm like, Shorty is like 16, bro. Nigga, you my age, my nigga. I was like 28 at the time. Like, nigga, what is you doing, bro?
He's getting his rocks off.
I'm sorry, guys.
He was getting his rocks off. Don't forget, it's minimum wage and all the pussy you can steal.
Not even with that. You I know certain entities that was giving away Jordan. They was giving Jordans away for him.
Brother, right. Is there any way
you get a size one of Jordan? You get like infants, you get
is there any way you can get off the Bluetooth?
More children. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Is there any way you can get off the Bluetooth if you're just a little muffled?
All right, hold on one second.
Because I want to hear this story. I want everybody to hear this fucking story.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So, and I seen that happen that time. I seen it happen in there at least 2 more times, and I was like, yo, bro, I got to get out this fucking store because my spirit just wasn't with that. I'm like, Shorty's mad young. I don't care what you're doing here, as long as we get our money. But, bro, like, that's fucking rape, bro.
It is rape.
That's straight rape, bro. And I'm like, for a fucking job, and then the girl didn't even get hired. So, that shit was crazy. No, she didn't get hired.
So she did. She serviced this man. Let's be real now. She serviced this man, and the only thing she gets out of the motherfucking deal is a mouthful of damn cum.
Exactly.
And that's a little sister of ours, man.
Yep. And that's up in a place, and that mall is right across the street from the project. It's the Galleria Mall. So they, that's like the hood mall of the people in White Plains. Then up the block is the Westchester Mall. But in that mall, it was, wow. I was like, that's crazy. There's a lot of stuff going on there, man. I witnessed, what else happened? Where I was at, I didn't witness this myself, but there's a tape going around. I've seen the actual tape video. It was like a district manager that was having sex with like part-time workers or stock persons, and then promoting them like 3 months later into a store. And then like 2 of them guys got burned with STDs from the district manager.
Oh my God.
That was crazy. One got sent down to Texas, the other one to Florida. Actually, there's a third, and the third was in Mount Vernon. And I was like, he didn't get anything from what I heard, but the other 2, yeah, they got burned. And then there was the video that I seen.
See, and
I was like, if they send that in a corporate, her ass is flat, because you see her face and everything.
Oh my gosh. There's the stories. Like, a lot of people, they're going to be like, brother right, brother true. Y'all lying. You niggers.
I mean, I was there.
Exactly. These are eyewitnesses.
I was there.
Do you think, now in hindsight being 2020, do you think if you would have went to authorities or even corporate, that anything of real substance would have been done about these characters?
Depending on the evidence, I did see the company fire a person, depending on something, but for the most part, if the manager's bringing in that money, they're not going to fire them. They're just going to transfer them to another store. I've seen that myself also, where managers get in some shit, where one manager fucked this guy's boyfriend that she heard had a big penis. She ends up pregnant. It caused a thing in the store, and then, she got transferred out.
That's the gag. They do just like the Catholics do. When catch Father O'Malley butt fucking a kid, we just send them to another parish.
Yep.
That's a damn shame.
And this is why I look at all these Edomites the same. I don't care if they're cool with you. I don't care if they don't like you. They're all one and the same, man. That Bible hit it right on the head. They're all one and the same.
Now, did you get a chance to see the beginning of the show where I talked about the big head scientists and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and even Malcolm X? We delved into.
I didn't. I just got out of work like about 15 minutes ago, but I seen the freeze frame picture that was up. Yakub.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Yakub.
Yeah.
I implore you, man. I know this is an extremely long video, but I'm triggered today. I don't give a fuck how long this motherfucker is.
I'm gonna be on, man.
Right on, brother. Right on.
I'm gonna be on it.
Before you get off, I want to ask you a question about Kamala Harris. As a man on the street, you don't have no vested interest. You're just another human being. What is your opinion of Kamala Harris?
She uses the black card for her advantage. I mean, her own father said it's about her. Her father is Indian, and I guess somewhere in her bloodline, maybe her mom, she has like Negro blood or whatever in her, but she doesn't claim it. And then they just released a video of her yesterday saying some very awful things about so-called Negro people. So, I knew from the jump that she wasn't for our people. Whenever you have, I would say one of the people that they front and put in front of you, and they're not 100% for the people. Of course, it's a plant, but her, her own father, he's very adamant about her just using black for her advantage, and he also said that he's not in favor of her doing it because I guess we embrace things that are negative. Well, I mean, being the way we was taught here, we embrace a lot of stuff that's negative. But he said something about the culture, like they're weed smokers and whatever he said. But basically,
he must be Jamaican, right? He's supposed to be Jamaican. Don't they smoke weed in Jamaica? Well, so why is that a fucking issue?
I thought her father was like a Indian, like overseas Indian, like from what they call the Middle East,
well,
which is North Africa.
The mom is supposed to be from India, and the daddy's supposed to be from Jamaica. But he's like a Caucasian Jamaican because he said that his ancestors had slaves and they had plantations and shit. So
wow.
Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. These people are racial chameleons, like Obama.
Yeah.
He did not have the experience you and I had. He had a tranny for a nanny and a gook. I did not mean to say that. I did not mean. He had Larry Santoro, an Asian gentleman, as a father figure. All right. So, oh my God, I can't believe I said that word. They're going to be like, oh my, it's only because I'm riled up. It ain't like an Asian guy don't call me a nigger, but I'm riled up. I'm pissed the fuck off because of the fact that this dog and pony show is Obama 2.0. I just wonder who's going to come out with the big bag this time. Last time was the fags. Let's be real. Obama was the president of faggots and trannies and all that gross shit. Now I'm just wondering who's going to be the beneficiary of Camellia fucking bullshit.
Kamala from wrestling, she on some wild shit. That Obama was a damn hope for nothing. Like people, and I was living in a Bronx that time. They had the damn voting polls wrapped around a damn block. I lived in Parkchester. Them lines was wrapped around. Anybody on here who live in Parkchester? No, them damn project lines was long. Them lines was wrapped around the damn Parkchester project. I was like, this is crazy, my nigga. They was out there in the cold, like, I told they was out there racing that cold. I'm like, y'all niggas is wilding. And then he got in office, and the average black person can't tell me one thing he did for you. He made all these homos out here, all these sodomites. That's all the Lord he passed to you.
Right.
That's it.
The funny thing about that is that how come if there was a teacher that was at that same fucking location, the people wouldn't wrap around the fucking block to hear the teacher teach you some wisdom?
Oh no, they ain't gonna do that.
No,
they ain't gonna do that.
It's too cold out here. It's too hot out here. Oh, Obama, Obama, there's a blizzard. Oh, I'm gonna stay in the blizzard, girl. I'm gonna stay in the blizzard, gal. That's some bullshit, brother. This is why we are not moving fucking forward.
Right.
Oh.
One of the major parts is the man follow the woman. When did you become the ass and she become the head? A lot of niggas out here is gone, man. Gone.
That's what I said about Obama and Kamala, is where's the black daddy? You remember that old Wendy's commercial? Where's the beef? Where's the beef? Where's the black daddy? No pictures. Everything's talking about the mom. And not to be ignorant, but you guys realize the moms in both Obama and Kamala's case, they're not a Kemet woman. They're not. So we kick the daddy off to the side, but we can claim that we're of the daddy's people. You don't see the daddy nowhere. None of the publications. Everything's about how mom raised us, how mom, the weekend hoe, fucking got knocked up with me, raised me and shit. Well, what about your dad? Oh, I don't know nothing about him.
Sounds like the LGBTABCDEFGZ movement.
Oh, God, taste the fucking rainbow where you want to or not. Open it up and taste it.
You know what I found weird about that? The LG, whatever, and then the Black Lives Matter movement, they both push the same thing. Women, children, training. There's no men.
No men. Men are not
no
welcome. Men. Now, like I said, you need to be there for the weekend. Get that weekend pussy. But then come Monday, your ass need to go. I got this.
Yep.
Uncle Sam's going to be my financier. And let me tell you something about the so-called, when we talk about issues like the black community. Listen. The reason why your schools are shit is because the people who own the homes aren't paying taxes. Normally, the people who own the homes aren't melanated. They get people in these communities, these single moms with children. They call it Section 8, HUD, whatever. Those bitches ain't paying taxes. It's the landlord. And it's at their discretion whether to pay the taxes or not because they know no one's coming to take those houses. They're in shitty fucking areas.
Yep.
And this is why I don't know how long you've been listening to the show, brother, but I talk about the hub. The hub is a tract of land I'm going to personally buy, and I'm going to set up a community from the streets to the light posts Everything is going to be done by us, our hands. And if we have to get a charter and get it and make it a village or a city so that we can get our own police force, that would be the first truly melanated community in the United States where we control the street, we control the churches, and we control the police and fire. It'll all be us. It will all be us. And you know, before you go, brother, I want to ask you, do you intend to vote this year?
Oh, no.
And could you explain why? Would you
What'd you say?
Huh?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said, if you choose not to vote in the presidential election, could you please explain why for the people?
Well, we've been here for over 500 years. We hope so. All this vote, and they name one president who helped.
No.
If anybody on here in the chat room or wherever, they give me one president who helped, I'll vote.
What about Abraham Lincoln, brother? What about Abraham Lincoln?
That story they said he freed the slaves. I honestly believe at that time in such a I believe the slaves were just everywhere was going buck wild. And then when you do the numbers of the slave master and their sons and daughters, I guess, controlling the slaves, they have to guess. You have to think about how many slaves was in the damn plantation.
Right.
So if the white man, we know the white man ain't fucking like, he ain't having sex like that. At least we know that. So when did they ever have more numbers in America than the Negro, the Native American, and the Seminole Indian?
Right.
Even with killing all of us, and you know how our people, when we with our women, we go hard in the paint. We ain't sitting here playing backgammon with the vagina. We go hard in the paint. So if we with that woman and we knocking it down, and you having kids, when did they ever exceed your number? Because a white man, he can lay with his woman and knock it down all day. He only have like 2-3 kids, and then after that, their body is recessive. So they don't recruit like us. We can recruit a few minutes. You done got your energy back to fucking. You back to fucking. They can't do it like that.
That's true.
They can't.
Facts.
Their body is meant for destruction. They can't do it like that. But yet our people not studying and they're going for the banana and stuff like all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
At this point, do you think it's just our training, or do you think many of us just giving up? Like, the war is over, we lost. Let me just go over here and be a janitor and a bootlick just so I can, get something to eat.
I don't. You said that some of us give up, or did we just lose?
Like we give up. We feel that we've lost the battle. We feel there's no light at the end of the tunnel. So we just kind of give up and instead of like going out and trying to change shit, we just like fuck it. I'll just play my part in the system.
Oh yeah, you get a lot of people like that. Like after they get beaten, they just assimilate to the system. They get weak. It's like I've been doing this for years and ain't nothing going on, and they say they become sellout cocoons. And then the bag that they're going for ain't even that big of a bag. Now you're just there. You happy to be with Master. You think Master like you, but in reality, if you study Esau ass, Esau don't like no traitors neither. He don't like traitors. So now you traded your own to join Esau, but Esau don't like your ass because soon as he use you, he kick your ass to the curb. Now you on your own. Now you fucked up.
Yes, big time.
So I mean, it's just like me. I don't like traitors. I don't like niggas who I was coming up with you from knee high all the way up to be grown, and then now me and you go through a little rift. Oh, you fuck that nigga man, and I ain't fucking with him. I ain't da-da-da. Okay, but eventually it's gonna come back around to where we gonna have to get together to work on something.
Right.
But a lot of people, that's why for the most part I don't even jump on people's cases about what they do. I just watch them and be like, yeah, I just be aware. That's the only thing we can do. Make yourself aware.
Right. Because the education, and what I mean by education, I'm talking about truth and knowledge, not necessarily college or school.
I'm sorry, I'm on a train.
Oh, that's fine. I mean,
it may cut off. That's what I'm going to think, because I'm underground. So.
Well, if it does cut off, before we're done here, I just want to say thank you.
No problem, bro. I'm still being in the chat for as long as I can, but I'll definitely be hitting you up soon now.
All right, brother. Peace and power.
All right, bro. All right, peace, King.
Awesome. You know, this is what this show's ultimately about, yeah. It's bringing people from all over the world, all over the country together for conversations that we should be having. We typically don't have these conversations because, like brother said, we have gotten into a mindset to where we don't even want to be around each other. We don't want to communicate with us. I don't want to work with brother Al. I don't want to work with brother K. I don't want to work with sister Sandra. I don't want to work with sister Kathy. I don't want to work with brother Smoke Less or brother Nick. I don't want to share the limelight because they may be smarter than me. People may like them more. We got to stop the damn showboat and just get our stupid asses on the safety boat. We're all out here in the damn water bobbing up and down like a bunch of bobbers. We need to get out the damn water and get onto the boat together. But because we have been trained, you don't want to be unified. No, you better off. You could be the next Oprah. You could be the next LeBron. You could be the next Michael Jackson. But it can only be you. You can't bring no one with you. You got to let them all go. And we fall for this dumb shit. So then 01, when you're out walking the streets and you try to educate people to what's going on, they're going to be like, look, 01, there ain't no racism. You got Oprah. She's rich. You got the dude that had BET. He's rich. And you don't have none of this bullshit. We have to come together. Listen, man. Does anyone out here who can hear my voice, does anyone know of any black person who was fortunate enough or lucky enough to be born with an actual trust fund? I ain't talking about no motherfucking family business, y'all. I'm talking about a straight up fucking trust fund where this brother and sister does not have to fucking work from the day they come out of the vajayjay to the day they go into the hole in the ground or burnt or however they dispose of their body. Like I said, I've traveled a lot and I've never met a black person who had a bona fide trust fund to where they taken care of. So I don't want to hear this bullshit about this black person's wealthy, that black person. That's great for them. Give them a round of applause, folks. They were able to make it in a system of white supremacy and oppression. Yay. But as for the countless masses, the way you came into this world, if you came in through a Section 8, poor, impoverished vajayjay, you typically are going to go out this motherfucker poor as fuck. Typically. Now, some of you may get a moniker of success. You might move from lower class up to middle class. Fuck, some may even move from lower class up to higher class. But the reality is your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters, perhaps even your children, they're not going to rise with you. And it's almost guaranteed before you get the fuck up out of here on earth, all that little money's going to be snatched up from your monkey ass anyways. If you don't believe me, talk to fucking Bill Cosby. Don't believe me? Dig up Michael Jackson and ask him about his financial portfolio. Holler at Red Fox, Sanford and Son. Holler at Chuck Berry. A lot of these so-called rich brothers, by the time it's time to put their ass in the ground, they broke as a motherfucking joke. You see, even Travis Smiley, Mr. PVS, Mr. Black man, pull yourself up by the bootstrap. He got caught up in fucking around with those interns. Now, I'm sure he wasn't the only one. He probably seen the behavior from other hosts and shit on PBS, fucking these young interns. But he gets caught up. And not only does he get fired, but he has to pay back $1.5 million to PBS for breaking their basically employee handbook. I ask you, does Harvey Weinstein got to pay those whores he fucked? Now, Donald Trump paid off Stormy Daniels because he just wanted to keep that shit on the down low, but it still came out. Hold on, we got another caller, y'all. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you're sounding pretty good.
Okay, I'm on a cell phone. I'm 01. I was calling because I think you shouted me out and stuff.
Yes, I did. I did.
All right, cool.
So, let's just get into it. Where's your thoughts on Kamala Harris and her portraying of being a black woman?
She's taking advantage of the blackness. The blackness is $1 billion industry of fiat currency. She's taking advantage of the blackness that created America, the blackness that made all the other races follow the blackness around the world.
Now, I know that you came into the chat later on, so you didn't catch the first part of this epic episode where we were talking about Yakub and the big-headed scientist and how he basically developed the non-melanated tribe to cause mischief throughout the world. Brother, if you ran into a white racist on your travels, right, and he told you to leave the United States, if you're not happy, by God, then you get your black ass out of here, how would you respond to this individual?
I don't know, but I've been responding within the moment, I guess, because I live in NYC, so everything is like happening in this Manhattan right now and shit. Like the whole past, ever since I've been raised and born through here, but and even recently, it's like you interacting. If you want to interact, really. So for me personally, I had it back and forth with all kind of people, and I don't know if they was racist or, but they was who they was at that moment, and who they was if it was white or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we all under that shit, man. We all under all of it and trying to survive it, and we all under it with in our vibration of energy and movement. We all under it in raising it, in being raised in it too. Like you're born into it. So we're the generation that was just born into it already. Like atomic bomb was already, slavery already happened, everything happened already. So everybody's already repeating their own history because they're raised in it too. So we keep moving in a way of making sure that these things that they hover over us, like being their kind of royalty or something like that, or being their kind of class, or looking at everything else as it's better, or I must have comfort, and we don't look at it as what it truly is just to be in a cog in their wheel, a pawn in their game, or whatever. If they still continue it and playing it like chess or whatever else they want to, but they still just doing what granddad taught grandson, and on down and trust funds and everything. But of fiat currency, I say this is what is the price of gold, and if you don't, I'm able to kill you with a bullet or with a disease or with a religion, or you know what I'm saying, like just making everybody just follow and but now
they're making us bow down. Brother, you mentioned fiat currency. What is your thoughts on reparations for melanated men and women in North America? What is your thoughts on that?
Go get what you want. You want reparations. You want whatever you want. You still alive in the consciousness of this energy and vibration. So you have the ability to be a tangible, moving, working being like everybody else. So if you want to do that in good, that power, or you want to do that in evil, that power, it's up to you. But go for that reparations, because it is a fiat currency, and you can go ahead and buy stuff that's going to be sold to you by the white man or by the immigrant that he brought here, and he brought brought here into a system that wasn't necessarily built by him, but since they felt like they commanded the whole thing, you know, they feel some kind of hierarchy on the decisions that is made on who can move up and get money and say okay to the loans, and because they own everything, the distribution, the movement of all products, because they farmed it, they zooed it, you know what I'm saying? They did everything to just control and monopolize it and make it their own, whether you want to call it white or because there's you know, the guy saying that the Kamala dad is the upper class of the Jamaicans and her mother is the upper class of the Indians, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But what they did was they choose to follow through and raise this person who's existing, and she already hired a Haitian woman with her backstory and all this other kind of stuff. And it's like, it's going to be another thing of what people allow.
Right.
So if you keep it going and you make your moves and all this other kind of stuff, just make smart, good moves, because then they could just open up the door of, oh, that person's evil. You know what I'm saying? So we can be as evil as, you know what I'm saying? You know?
Because this land was conquered. The land wasn't traded fairly. Even that island, Manhattan, that you speak on, or that you're on, that was basically juked from the native people. Here, we give you a handful of beads, but we're taking all this land over here. Okay? That's the scam that has been perpetrated. Because like I said on the show before, those who have power will always have dominance over those who don't have power. And they will not respect the powerless. You can be like, oh, brother, I'm doing so bad. I'm eating nothing. I want some food. I want some house. They ain't going to give a fuck because you don't have the ability to come and take it from them. You see what I'm saying?
I'm listening.
So therefore, we realize that we lack the physical power. Oh, shoot, here's Dr. Short. Hold on 1 second, brother. Hold on. Hey, greetings, doctor. I'm actually doing a live show. Can I if I call you back in a few minutes, will you be able to talk for a couple? All right, well, just give me a second. I got a caller on the line, and then I'll call you back in less than a minute. All right, thanks you, doctor. Brother 01.
I'm listening. I'm still here. I'll get off it.
Yeah, let me call Dr. Short, brother. But please call back again, man, and tune into the show.
Can I say one more thing for 2 seconds?
No, go.
All right. What I'm doing personally is that whatever little bit of money I'm able to save up, I put it in like the Robinhood stuff. I'm buying back into the stuff. I'm trying to be like more of a less of a consumer, more of an owner in their shit. And I'm just spreading it around. In the Robinhood, I have put $10, $20 in the stash. Like $10, $20 build up to $100 and put it in like an Ameritrade or something, or E-Trade, and XRP. And just buying today's shit, get dividends and stuff, monthly, quarterly dividends, and that's just one way.
That's the way to do it, brother.
There's one way. I mean, and eventually, if you're able to get your farm and get your own shit, that was a good idea. That little that hub stuff. You know what I'm saying? I just heard, that was I think the first time I heard it. But because I listen, I watch the show. I've been watching the show for years. You have made a good show. You make a good show. I'm sorry I haven't been able to be. I heard the story and everything. I've been listening for at least a half hour, 40 minutes, uninterrupted. You make a good show. You got good ideas. You know, we need to own our own stuff, because we did invent a lot of stuff right out of when they started making the patent office, right out of slavery. That's when we were able to say that we invent We probably invented so much stuff during slavery. You know what I'm saying? We invented a lot of stuff. Black people, the real black people. Yeah, it was just us up until at least the 60s.
Correct. Well, I have to get off here. I'm going to call Dr. Short.
All right. Bye.
Bye, brother.
Cool.
Hold on, y'all. DRS1 is on his way. Oh, please pick up. I gotta call him on my cell phone. Tell him. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Oh, awesome. Good doctor. Oh, this show's on fire today, sir. Right off the bat, what do you think of Kamala Harris portraying that she's a black woman?
Okay. That would be like Hitler throwing a bar mitzvah in high school.
We just had Judge Joe on earlier, and he broke it down how the father, because we don't, she doesn't talk about the father. The black father is like he don't exist, but apparently he's not
a black father.
So
I wish people stop saying that. Why are people trying to make, her father black? See, this is the reason that this is happening. You know why this is happening? One reason it's happening is because black people are stupid. Black people are the dumbest people in America. The reason I'm going to say that is this. For all the new nations gone down to Jamaica and have gone on the screw and get high, you know that they're different Jamaicans.
Right.
There's a light-skinned Jamaicans who do not identify as black, and there's a broke-ass ones to keep you away from that are black. Kamala Harris's father would not have been considered black in Jamaica. He's not. So why do we impose our standard, this one drop rule that is not compatible with the Jamaican reality on Kamala Harris? It's crap, and we're stupid, and we deserve her as vice president, and she'll destroy us when Joe Biden dies in the White House. We need to sober up. There is a caste system in India, and her mother comes from the top of the caste system in India, and there's a caste system in Jamaica, and her father's from the top of the caste system. He's a mix of Indian and white and a little bit of black, and he comes from the slaveholding class of the most brutal people of all in Jamaica. So black folks, if they want to be that stupid, I can send you an article right now. Can you share this with your group? I'm going to take a minute because I'm going to need to talk to that mom. Now, we've already told you she's a hoe. She hates black people's guts. And if y'all want that, if y'all need all this information, and by the way, what I've learned about black people, the more information you give them, the less they listen.
True.
So we've told you what you need to know. If you need something else, you need folks to play all these games. You know what? You go look it up yourself. But I'm going to send you this article on Kamala Harris and on slavery in Jamaica, and I want you to see this.
Yes, I can. You can send it to the cell phone or to the email, either or.
I'm going to send it to your email.
Perfect.
I want you to see this, and that's between you and her. I mean, and just wake up. I mean, there's no reason for you to even waste our time talking about this tramp, because she's not our sister.
Right.
She is not our sister. I'm sending this to you right now. You share this with your group. Tell people stop being ignorant. Stop being ignorant.
Yes, because that is contagious. A lot of stupidity going on.
And there's no more time to beg people. Let me see. Hold on. Give me the first.
It's TRU.
Oh, I got it. That's what it is. All right. Now, guys, I'm going to send it to my
My God, brother. Okay. I just sent it to you. Now, you can use that article and you can read some of that to them. If Kamala's not your sister, Kamala's not my sister, she's not my friend, she's not my trick either. Okay. And she's got very strong jaws. Just look at her face. And she earned those jaws. She's done something to have jaws that's strong, real strong jaws. And our people need to wake up and free ourselves of the stupid idea that everybody that's not pale white is some kind of black. That's your brainwashing being in America. She is not a black woman. She wouldn't be a black woman in Jamaica. And for all the little ignorant niggas, in particular, some democrat, stupid ass black lady types at a Greek letter, who say, well, her father, she didn't live with her father. She lived with her mother, and her mother moved her to one of the whitest places in the world called Canada.
True.
Kamala didn't get treated the way she wanted to get treated, so they sent her to Howard, where she would meet other light-skinned Jamaicans, because Howard is a bastion of what are called brown Jamaicans. These are the light-skinned Jamaicans who oppress the dark-skinned ones. She's not your sister. She's not your friend. I want you, brother. I'm going to give you a phone number. I'm going to send it to you. The number belongs to Mother Denise Johnson, whose son was lynched. And Kamala Harris made certain that her son and many other people's sons who've been murdered at San Jose State University in California got no justice after white people murdered them and possibly stole their organ.
Wow.
She'll talk to you, have her on your show.
Yes.
And I want all, in particular, I'm lashing out at the dumb fuck black women out there who see everything as an opportunity to triumph over black men. I want you to tell this grieving black mother that she should vote for Kamala after Kamala made certain that there was no justice for her son, whose neck was broken and skull was hit with a pickaxe. I want you to tell me that, and I'll give you Melody's number, and she'll talk about how this black beauty queen was chopped up and ground into bone meal, and Kamala Harris laughed at the family when they came for help. Any black woman that wants that, maybe y'all need to get raped and eaten up. Then y'all have some empathy. You'll think beyond your personal ego.
Right.
Because we have some selfish, narcissistic asshole sisters out here. They've given you the education over the black men because they knew you'd be the kind of niggas that you are right now. And yes, this is ugly. I don't want to talk like this, but I got to.
Right.
Y'all left us no choice.
Right. The time for pillow talk is over.
The last time we had some real black woman leadership was either two of them, both of them named Cynthia McKinney and Cynthia Tucker. Greatest black women, both of them, women that I work for, I love, and they real black women. Okay. All right. So Mother Tucker adopted me, and Sister McKinney, we've been friends 29 years. So I support real black women. I just don't like asshole tricks. Wet ass pussy, sexuality coon, pork chop feminist hoes. I don't like them. Tired of y'all bringing us down. Going to court, lying on someone. You know that you screwed everybody in the world. You don't know who the father is. We need this stuff to stop. Somebody say amen. You know I'm telling the truth up in here.
Preach. Amen.
And I know I'm making, man, I feel so much power when you like make pork chop feminists angry. It's addictive saying stuff that they don't want to hear you say. If you guys act more civil, I'll stop talking like this. If y'all get on formation and get in line and start being our sisters in struggle instead of adversaries and service of white radical lesbian feminists, I won't talk like this. I didn't always talk like this. I didn't think like this. I always thought we were all together, black men and women and black people. And I learned there's this pork chop feminist bit subversives who thought their funky pussies gave them an excuse to stab the rest of us in the back. I can't let them go with that. I can't be silent. And it's not that I hate the pussy. The pussy's good. They're not. That's a big contradiction. Great pussy, terrible people. Be as good as you think your pussy is. In fact, be better than it. Take it to another level. Yes, I am here to incite anger. And you know what? I'll tell you something. The more that people hear me talking like this, it's going to embolden the next brother to start saying, yeah, I'm tired of this pork chop feminist bitch too.
Yes.
Black men need to rebel. And there is sex after you tell the truth. Black men have been told the truth. Nobody will sleep with you, that female. Damn, man, if I tell the truth, I'm going to have to be gay because these sisters are going to talk that I told the truth. I'm telling you, why would a black man let himself be a beggar? Why are black men begging? But woman respects you. She won't abort your baby or spit out your cum, and she'll listen to your point of view. Okay? I said it just like that was completely inappropriate, but you know what? I reached the audience. Somebody heard that.
Right.
That's the one thing that they heard. Remember the Isuzu commercial? And the man is trying to sell the car to the family, and the kid is listening. And he says DVD player, and that's the only thing the kid understood from the Isuzu. So when I said, swallow your nut, and don't mind the baby, because a lot of niggas don't want to be fathers. Sorry, motherfuckers. But it did like them swallowing the coat, man. I worked really hard to make that. I sort of see that like the recipes, right?
These people.
Okay. All right. So I know I've been really bad today. I hope you don't get put off of YouTube for me.
No, it actually has been tame. We kind of flipped our lids, got a little triggered, was sharing some information, and the spirit just came over me like a wave. And we're actually at 3 hours.
Did you get that birth certificate I sent you?
Hold on, let me check.
Maybe I didn't see the birth certificate, but you should be following me. I thought I sent it to you in Microsoft Messenger. They may have pulled it off.
No, I don't have it.
Hold on. I'm going to send it to you right now, and I want you to share this with your audience. Okay, I'm going to send it to, hold on, it's going to hit you as a text. Can you get a text in this number, or do I have to send it to the other Brokeback number?
You got to send it to the other Brokeback number, the cell phone. Yeah, unless you can put it in the email.
I'll email you. I just sent it to you via text. I'll send it to you via email. I want you to share that with everyone, and absolutely tell this brother, send me some money. We're going up to Delaware. Did I not send you the flyer about we're going up to fight lynching in Delaware?
No, you did not send me that flyer, doctor. All right, got it. I got the picture. I'm going to pull this up on my cell phone, Yao, so you can see the picture that...
I just sent you one email, and I'm about to hear this. I'm sending you right now. I'm going to email it and text it. Notice that they mess with our emails and all.
Oh, yeah.
I send you the flyer, and I'm going to send you... I'm sending you the flyer, and I'm going to send you information on a document that I helped write some time ago about lynching in Delaware, where they're killing Black people, and it still goes on. And Kamala and Joe Biden, well, Joe Biden's son covered it up. So I want you to, and I'm sending you this thing on sound card. Can you play this on your show before I leave?
I should be able to, as long as I can pull it up on the big computer.
Okay.
I'm showing them the picture now. She's Caucasian.
I just sent you the sound card, and I'll send it to you by email. And I want you to hear a black man that escaped the lynching, the 911 call made by a white woman.
All right.
They still hang people in Delaware. They still kill black people in Delaware. This is covered up by Joe Biden and the Obama administration. If you support Kamala and Joe Biden, you support the lynching of black people. You don't deserve our support. I don't care if I anger you. I'm on the right side of history. You're not.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
I just sent it to you.
All right, let's grab it up.
That's a white woman calling to try to figure out what's going on with the black man who escaped a white death squad in Dover, Delaware.
Okay, here it is.
Hi, Mr. Davis. My name is Lisa Martin. I live on Washington Street at the end by Silver Lake Park. And it sounded like somebody was just hollering, stop, stop, stop at the park. Oh, now maybe I hear people. I've turned all my lights on. Oh, now they're speaking maybe harshly to each other. I'm not sure.
Are they arguing?
By the bathrooms, maybe now. Yeah, I'm not certain. Yeah, it sounded like one was yelling for help. Oh, now there's a car leaving. There's a white truck leaving the park with its lights on. I think my husband's going to try to get the lights. Help! I'm calling the police are coming.
Hold on just a minute.
There's a man in my yard.
Silver Lake, Washington Street. Subject yelling for help.
There's a man laying in my yard.
What's he saying?
Oh my goodness.
What's he saying?
He's hollering and laying down. He's saying help, help.
What address are you?
101 Washington.
There's a subject laying in the yard of 101 Washington Street yelling for help.
Yeah.
Contacted the homeowner there.
Oh my goodness.
What's wrong with him? Does he need any kind of medical help?
There's no visible injury.
There is a
Now
reason.
he said call 911.
Okay. Did he say that he's robbed?
Yes. Oh, Stephen, stay
Man is
away from
yelling that
me.
apparently he was robbed.
Robbed, and
There
they
was
tried
a,
to kill him.
A white truck apparently in the area. I'm not sure if that's still anywhere. Is his vehicle there with him?
No, the white truck left the park.
What type of truck? Get a good look at it?
Did you get a look at the truck? Yeah, yeah, that's what he said.
The subject's advising that someone tried to rob him and kill him. There was a white truck that left the area.
Yeah, and the white truck. I saw the white truck.
This is so hard to listen to.
What direction of travel, ma'am?
What direction he was traveling, leaving the Washington Street to go in towards state. I mean, he's going
towards state. It's the last I saw.
Yeah, so he could have gone either way.
How many people were in the truck?
How many people in the truck, sir?
Was it an
Not terribly coherent.
Okay, I need to find out, is it an SUV or a pickup truck?
Pickup truck.
Okay, is he advising is a 2-door truck or a 4-door truck?
Stephen, is it 2-door or 4-door? I'm up on the porch, so I'm not directly next to him.
Is he giving any further description of that truck? Does it have a cap on it? Is there anything distinguishing about it?
I didn't see a cap. It's just a white truck.
Okay.
Fairly new.
Fairly new.
Fairly new.
Newer model white pickup truck is what they're telling us. What is your name?
Lisa Martin. Is 911 coming?
I have officers that are responding. I just want to keep you on the phone.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Stay on the line here, ma'am.
doesn't even look like he has shoes on. Black shirt, pants.
The guy out in your front yard does?
Well, actually, he's in the backyard.
What's he doing?
This is why I put up a fence. I guess he climbed over the fence. I don't know what he did. He's laying in the yard on his back.
Is he in your backyard?
Yes. But if you come in the driveway, you know, you'll have access to him.
Okay.
He's all beat up.
Okay.
So they
Or
need
he is
him.
trying to
Yeah.
Washington Street. The subject to be in the RV's backyard. He's apparently been assaulted. Does he need an ambulance? Ask him if he wants an ambulance.
Yes. Does he need an ambulance? Yes. Yes.
They're
He's
101.
getting something out of his. What is? He's got a shiny watch on. What else is he? What's in his hand? Oh, don't touch anything, Stephen. Okay.
And we're gonna start you an ambulance there for him.
That sounds good. Hi.
Yeah,
I see the policeman in the street.
Okay, yeah. The officer's
That
gonna
sounds
make
like a
contact
good
with you. Okay.
idea. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
Police car name is.
Hey, Davidson Dover, can you start an ambulance for 101 Washington Street? It's going to be reference to a assault victim that apparently was robbed. We have an officer on scene now.
All right, we'll get him out there.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right.
You are currently caller number 2.
Yeah, that was really hard to listen to, Doctor. That was, oh my God. But that's what we're up against.
That man that escaped the lynching. And I'm going to tell you something about that story. That man lived in a house that belonged to a woman minister who I had an argument with 2 weeks prior. And she was complaining. Another one of these loudmouth, powerful black women that knows every damn thing. You know the type. This loudmouth black woman who was angry that a friend of mine was trying to get to the bottom of black lynching in Delaware and accused him of making trouble. And she was chiding me and him for making trouble. You've heard this story before. I was so angry as I tried to explain to her, sister, these things are happening. And she just, man, you know how black women know everything.
Right.
Sure you do. Well, I just said to her, sister, I realize, I understand. I'll never be able to get you to hear me. Wrong sex. I'll have a whole lot of money or anything. So I'm not worthy of being heard, listened to. I says, but you know what? You'll call me crying. The next time they grab someone, there'll be someone in your house. You call me then. Tell me then that I'm lying and that I make trouble caring about my community. She hung up. 2 weeks later, these guys tried to hang this guy who lived in her house.
Wow. This is.
If you won't hear me, I come in mercy. I come in love. I cuss a little. Sure I do. I say a lot of stuff that's foul. I actually care.
Correct.
You, right? You know what? I never had another problem with her after that. I don't want you. You call me, don't you? You praying and saying nothing about nothing like that happened.
But that's only because her superstition kicked in, Doctor. Before that superstition kicked in, oh, you're a troublemaker. Why you coming around here being an agitator and all this craziness?
We were okay here. You don't even live down here. You don't know nothing.
And sure enough, that guy, the picture of the guy you see, lived in her house. So you'll hear me there. Do you know how many times I've had to tell someone black something's going to happen to them? And then it happened. And then all of a sudden, they realize, or either think, you evil, you did this. I didn't do nothing. I told you, okay, at a certain point, the woman planted the damn Christian minister. You should have a sense of someone that's on something. And I'm not talking about drugs. You should have a sense of whether that person has some integrity, right? They talk about, oh, I have the gift of discernment. You could have fooled me, man.
The gift of discernment. You know, that's
so yeah, I told the lady this would happen. You'll see. I said he'll get away. You listen to me then. I hate that. I should be able to just talk to you and say, brother, here's a job here, or there's an opportunity there, and you hear me, and you wouldn't treat me like I'm a space alien or an INS officer, and you run the Taco Bell.
Run the Taco Bell. Make a run for the border.
Right. So no, my brother, no, it happened. It happened. And you and I think I was talking about Delaware, remember?
Right.
I was talking about Delaware. And then all of a sudden I learned there's a new movement. I sent you the flyer. Sunday after next, August 23rd, 2020, there's a movement of people from all over who are tired of black people being executed and murdered ritually by whoever's doing it, that the cover-up has to end.
Right.
There's a movement now. And the little document that you see with the swastika on it, I helped write it.
I'm pulling up the flyer because you did send that to me.
And some of us have been doing this stuff year in, year out. I want to thank people that listen to you and the Ron Hurd. We were doing this for years. And by the way, I was losing money doing it, sneaking out from my job to try to do something to help people. It's a beautiful thing to get a donation because it cost me. I completely failed in the career change because I was so busy trying to keep people's asses from getting killed and out of jail. And so it's a blessing to meet people like yourself, or at least people drop something on you. At least you can pay a phone bill or something. And you know, my phone is my main weapon.
Correct.
If my phone is my weapon, you know, I'm on the phone, fighting, calling, connecting, texting. I'm even improving my Instagram stuff.
Yeah, you're that's why, you know, even when you're not on the show, Doctor, I try to pump your Cash App, try to get you some dollars in the war chest, because you are quite literally one of our true historians that's going to tell us the true history. Give us the real data to actually base our thoughts upon, instead of some old fairy tale gobbledygook that sounds weak and pathetic, or that makes us look weak and pathetic. Oh, you ain't never done it.
We're not, and I want to tell you, everybody on the East Coast, be in touch with me. We can bring Kamala's ass down. And that's the other thing I was going to ask you. We need everybody that can tweet, everybody that can talk, that Kamala Harris needs to apologize for supporting Cardi B.
Correct.
Because if she supports Cardi B, that means she believes in black women being put out there as basically cheap street booty, wet ass pussy. I know we have hoes, but we don't want to institutionalize it. My mama's not a hoe. My grandmother was moved from Georgia as a 16-year-old. Certain she wouldn't become a hoe by my great grandfather. That's how, I mean, he moved out of state to keep her stuff clean.
Yeah, this is why it's so important to have folks like you and others that actually speak on this, because you ain't hearing this from no mainstream media. Fox News not going to touch this.
Or any coon preacher. Oh, Jesus. For you brothers and sisters that are sick and shut in during this COVID-19 pandemic, we have squared our church law. I gotta go. My congregation's calling me. You be blessed.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, it's always a good day when doctor calls, isn't it? Doctor has the cure. And for those who are listening, please, if you can, help out the good doctor. Go to Cash App. It's money sign, capital D, lowercase r, capital R, lowercase a, NDY, capital S, lowercase HORT. That's money sign, Dr. Randy Short at Cash App. Please help the brother continue his work. Like he said, he's given up his whole professional career for our sake. He's giving it. He's putting in the time. He's putting in the work. So I ask, if you have it, please donate to him. Please help fund him. All right? Wow, this I think has been one of the most powerful, bombastic shows I've had in a very, very long time. Normally I keep it at just an hour, but you know what? I threw that all to the winds today, y'all. The Spirit grabbed me and compelled me to carry on. And I did. We got Judge Joe on. We had Brother Wright on, Brother 01 on, and then Brother Randy Short. And the calling line's still open, y'all. We got 15 minutes. We might as well go 4 hours. Fuck it. Let's just go 4 hours. 20 more minutes. Because the work that has to get done, the knowledge that has to be said and shared with others, there is no timeline on that. We have to stand united, or damn it, we will all be exterminated. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Now let's get into this. Hold on. I think he struggled for civil rights. The Emancipation Act passed by the British Parliament in 1833, which brought an end to plantation slavery in Jamaica. Okay, so this is this article will be talking about old girl's daddy's people. All right, the anniversary of emancipation provides an opportunity to explore the rarely discussed phenomenon of Jamaican black and colored slave owners. In 1833, the year the British Parliament passed the Emancipation Act and established, or an estimated of Jamaican population showed 16,600 whites and 31,300 free colored, 11,000 free blacks, and 311,000 enslaved Africans and peoples of African descent. Interestingly, the free colors and black populations included the owners of some 70,000 enslaved Africans. How do we explain this seemingly contradictory development? I'll tell you how you explain it. Because they wanted the fiat currency of the master. It's all about the Benjamins. Well, not the Benjamins at that time. Let's just say it's all about the pound. It's all about the dollar. We have to get past this ideal, and it's just that, an ideal, that in some ways that black folks weren't complicit in the slavery experience. We got to get past this ideal because it takes away from the root. The root is, I don't give a fuck who owned the damn slaves, what color they were. Only thing I care about was the government that sanctioned that type of behavior. It was the government that says, okay to have this person as chattel slavery. It's okay to take them babies and use them as alligator bait. It's okay to pull that young buck's loincloths down and bust his booty and break his back. You see, these type of dehumanizing behaviors can only be perpetrated on a group of people who the greater society no longer views as humans. They're subhumans. Romans were experts at this. The Vikings were experts at this. The Greeks were experts at this. The Egyptians, the Sumerians, the Canaanites were all experts at this. We have to understand we're dealing with a system that has been going on for thousands, not hundreds, but thousands of years. Families that have been tied as, think about it. There's families out here that have been tied for as long as they can remember as slavers, flesh merchants. They would go and snatch up people. You think I'm lying? Look at the damn news. Why do you think you have sex slavery today? You think this shit's new? You don't think people were snatching up kids when they didn't have cell phones, cameras, or any type of technology? We're actually dealing with wicked souls occupying human vessels of whatever variety. That still does not take away the right of the descendants of slaves to get reparations, economic compensation, validation. Oh, wow. I don't know what to say, y'all. I mean, for those brave souls who have listened to this broadcast for the past 3 hours and 45 minutes, I salute you. I know that this broadcast is quite controversial. I know that this broadcast brings up topics that are not pleasant. There's not happy-go-lucky. You don't hear us over here at TPIMSR Live talking about, it's great to be oppressed, yeah. As long as you get yourself a car, a new pair of shoes, it's all gravy, baby. You ain't never going to hear no bullshit like that from this channel. Like Brother Bay says, we keep this motherfucker 1,000. Because that's what time it is. And I want to leave you with this final thought. Young man, young woman, I ask you, if you were on a ship, what would you be? Would you be the captain? Would you be the crew? Or would you be cargo? Now, you don't have to answer that question in chat. I want you to really digest that and contemplate that. Because right now, we're going to end the show. I totally went over my time. Normally, I tried to do just an hour. But like I told Doctor and everyone else, the Spirit grabbed me and I was compelled to do the show up until this point right here, because this is where you go. All right? So live your life with integrity, without hate, envy, or greed. And as always, brothers and sisters, please, 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 let's try to be kinder to each other. Peace and power, unity and victory, dignity and respect, liberation. I'm out.